Brent.
Just fucking up the intro, eh?
Still part of it. Hey, lovely people. Welcome to TDA, the day after. It is Monday. No, it's not. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday, the 20th of September. And we are the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And you have very amazing lit hosts. Let's get introducing ourselves.
Morning, people. Obviously, the sun's killing me today, but don't watch nothing. We're still dead there. You get me? It's your boy, Big Mars from the east side of the bridge. 6 foot plus, all that goodness. Let's get it.
It's your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
It's your boy Yus, back after a nice little bank holiday. Ready to go for the new week.
Nice.
They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That's right. That is right. How's everyone's bank holiday weekend?
I can't believe you don't really let the Queen affect you.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
Like, you were so traumatized by the experience, you just couldn't turn up for work.
You just took a day off,
You
It's
imagine.
not traumatizing, though.
It was a lot. We're in morning. We had to take a moment. Why do 1 minute, 2 minute silence when you can have a day off work?
Everybody all right now, though, yeah?
Yeah. Reality is you said it, yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, chilled. It was a nice chilled weekend.
I thought I was lockdown. I don't know about you guys. Yesterday was giving lockdown. Streets were silent. I could hear a pin drop.
I wasn't outside. I drove once somewhere and I was at my house for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I didn't really
Experience
see
it.
what was going on there.
Yeah, I just went out to record in the evening, so I don't know what was happening during the day. I never seen nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't even see the funeral.
Yeah, it was probably quiet. It was actually, because to be fair, actually, I went out in the evening. But by then, a lot of places had opened up. So a lot of restaurants and stuff opened up from 5.
Yeah.
But before that, it was dead quiet in the streets. Like when I looked at my window, it was just like not one car. It was just crazy. It was probably quiet.
So where's everybody in the city? Just
Everyone's in their
Central.
houses or
But I swear there was supposed to be like all these watch parties.
Serious?
Not
What, like,
not
watch
parties per
along?
se, but big screens all over the place. Like people can watch it. So I thought there'll be like gatherings, like Trafalgar Square or I don't know.
There might have been.
Wherever.
The Ghanaian aunties, your people, them, E-man. Not the Ghanaian aunties setting up a whole thing in Tottenham trying to, they actually did their own funeral, their own version of the funeral.
Okay.
And then they wore like, because you know like Ghanaians, when they do funerals, they wear red and black. They proper dressed up for the occasion, blocked off the side. Like, y'all are embarrassing, to say the least. Very, very childish behavior. Did anyone watch it?
Hell no. Oops, sorry. No.
nah, I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I kind of did a watch party on the Mighty Network because I watched it. So basically, okay, do you know what it was? Okay, I was going to watch it.
Okay.
To be fair, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I had other things I was dealing with. But then I saw Audrey's tweet and she said something like, oh, like, to be fair, she's like, I get it, but this is actually kind of sad. So nah, what's sad? So now I turned the TV on. And then I was watching it. And then that's when I realized her crown is lit. I gotta get me one of those. It's so, because they zoomed into the crown and I said, nah, the jewels on that.
Crazy.
The jewels are nice, but I don't like the crown. It's like a vomit of diamonds. It's not, you know what I mean? It's
Blinged out.
It's just bare random
The bust down.
diamonds. There's no type of cohesion.
I get what you mean.
It's just random.
I loved it. I said that is. So then I decided to go in our little community, and I was like, "You're one. I'm watching a funeral." Side note, that is a nice crown. I've never seen it in 4K. And then people were obviously on there as well. They're watching it too.
Yep.
One of the community, he said his wife dressed up for it. That's how I was finished. He said his wife dressed up. And then Emo was like, did you dress up? And he was like, no, me and my son are in pajamas. Why are women so dramatic? Like, why? That's so dramatic. But it looked all right. And to be fair though, I had it on in the background, but I tuned out. I started watching makeup tutorials. And by makeup, it was a bit... For a funeral, it was dead. It made me realise though, the way because I don't know how Caribbeans do funerals,
I
but...
said thought a funeral was dead. What was it meant to be like?
let me take you there.
Oh.
So you see how like Africans do funerals when it's an elderly? It's a celebration of life because they've lived. How much longer do you want to live? 96.
Yeah.
And we're all here, all somber, all sad. You're being greedy now. You've lived 96 years. And it made me realise how, because obviously I know Yoruba people. I don't know how Igbos and stuff do their funerals and stuff, but with Yorubas, they get the trumpets out. It's a whole street party. Like my great grandma's funeral was so lit. Honestly, that's one of the best events I've ever been to. It sounds wild. It sounds so wild, but that is one of the best events I've ever. It was a whole celebration.
But she lives.
I don't think they was prepared
Yeah,
to
I think she's
celebrate
like
a lot
6.
because they don't want her to go though.
Well, how long is she gonna stay here for? Everyone has to go at some point.
Yeah, but I just think everybody just thought the Queen was going to be here forever, and they just took her for granted, kind of thing. I see a man. I told you, I see it.
We're scheduling them brunches with her and them lunches.
A man tweeted, "Gone too soon." That's when
Okay,
I knew.
okay, okay.
He was obviously bantering, boy. I said, "God, too soon."
When I said R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth, gone too soon, I said, "Yeah."
Bloody ridiculous. But people do that. They're like, oh, gone too soon. What do you mean? They were 85. They were old and frail. Could barely move. What else do you want out of life?
Where?
I don't know. I think 96 is a very, very good age to go. But I was thinking that it must be so weird how like you've actually lived through so much.
A lot, yeah, for real.
It's weird because sometimes when I remember my age, I just think, is that it? I feel like I've been here longer. So imagine being 96.
Seen the war.
Seen it all, man.
Seen hella wars.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Bro, that's a knowledgeable person, isn't it? You would have seen so much.
Yeah. I will say that it was just because
seen it from your palace, innit?
literally with the best view in the country. But I will say that it definitely my idolatry thing is definitely panning out. It definitely was giving idolatry, especially when they were lowering her to the ground. Because I went into my mom's room, my mom was in shock. She was like, I said, "Are you okay?" I thought she had got bad news, but she's like, "I can't believe what they just said." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she said how they said they basically said she's like Lord of all, sovereign, sovereign Lord of all, something like that.
Yeah.
I said, yo, no offense, but I said, even if sis made heaven, yeah, what you lot are doing down here is going to make God call into the office because this is absolutely foolish. And apparently they address Charles the same way as well.
Yeah.
They're a Lord of us all. I don't know who us is. I'm not part of that.
You're seeing it from a religious context.
I have to. That's the only way I can see. That's the only way my eyes work.
But before all of that came this.
Who came first, God or the Queen?
No, but the titles may have not have come first.
Well, big up her anyway. It looked like a nice funeral. Was that Harry's uniform? It wasn't, was it?
I didn't see it, you know. So
I thought he was just wearing a suit. He had his little pins
I
though.
swear he's not serving no more.
Yeah, but
I
you
think they
can
made an
still wear
allowance.
it.
They made an allowance for him.
He wasn't wearing that. He wasn't wearing
He wasn't wearing it.
Okay.
Because I feel like Charles was wearing something that looked
I
kind
saw a
of
picture of him. He
suit.
was just wearing a normal suit.
He was in a suit, but he had his
Okay.
pins. His little.
Okay.
He had 4. William had 3.
Mm.
And they didn't bring that rude kid to the funeral. The one that was acting the twat last time.
Oh, he was there.
He wasn't.
I saw a picture of him.
Kid.
Really?
Yeah.
How many kids have they got? 2 or 3?
Who? William's kids?
Yeah.
I saw pictures. I just saw pictures on Twitter.
3.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, they got 3 kids now.
Because I think I was seeing memes around saying how like they didn't bring him to the funeral because you never know how that kid's gonna act.
No, I think that, no, they would have to.
No, you don't have to.
He can't just stay at home.
You have to. You sit at home. You watch your is that his great grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch your great grandmother being buried, and you couldn't be there because you're a nuisance.
Whose kids are you talking about?
William's kids,
I swear I saw a picture on Twitter with William and all his kids.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. You should have left him at home.
Boy.
But yeah, apart from that, it was a calm weekend. Everyone agree?
Yeah, it was, man. I just said I don't watch
pretty much,
shows.
man.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that quiet around me though, because like I said, I went to the gym in the morning,
Oh yeah.
and there was people around like the mall area and that, innit? Even
Okay.
afterwards, I was thinking, what you people want here?
Well, when the shop's closed,
That's what I was thinking. But yeah.
British people are just weird, man. I don't know. This country is just it's a weird one. It's very, very weird. But yeah, guys. So as you guys know, like this video, comment, share it, join the community. TMB. No, that's not it. Community.thenewblack.com. That's it, really, isn't it? Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get into our show.
Line is basically about what everyone spoke about, which is the Queen's funeral and who attended. So it was a momentous event, solemn, spectacular, and intense. Heads of states, dignitaries, and local community heroes, side by side, on this one-in-a-lifetime guest list, suddenly stood up to attention together. The significance of the moment was almost audible. As you can imagine, kings and queens, presidents, prime ministers, celebrities, and friends from across the globe were among the 2,000 guests at the Queen's funeral service at Westminster Abbey. US President Joe Biden was among 500 heads of states and foreign dignitaries who came to London for a gathering of world leaders not seen for decades. Some invites have been controversial. The UK's invitation to Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince and de facto ruler Mohammed bin Salman to attend the Queen's funeral sparked a storm of protests from human rights campaigners. A declassified CIA report concluded that the Crown Prince had authorized the murder and dismemberment of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi inside a Saudi consulate in Istanbul in 2018. The Saudi Crown Prince and his government obviously denied this, but he has been seen as something of a pariah in the West and has not been to Britain since until now. As well as Prime Ministers of Canada, Australia, New Zealand being invited, other Commonwealth leaders who attended included the leaders of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and India. The Queen's funeral marked the end of an era, and millions across the world stopped what they were doing to watch it either in person or live on TV.
Was Buhari invited?
Who?
Buhari, the
Buhari,
Nigerian president.
Probably, yeah, he should have been.
Well,
No, he wasn't there.
no Trump, Bush.
Trump. I swear he wasn't invited to Meghan and Thingy's
Meghan,
wedding anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't, I remember there was a whole thing. They didn't invite him to Meghan, and even though she's American, people were like, because it's Trump.
Yeah.
They didn't invite him. What people were?
But Bush, Clinton.
Yeah, I think all of them must have been there, I think.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
But what was funny that people found funny, especially like people from African countries, was that they had them in buses, in big coaches, like it was a school trip. And said, "Oh, look at this!" Because honestly, when they're in their own countries, they're doing like hella convoys. They're causing so much traffic. They're traveling with like 20 other army cars and all nonsense. And then you go to someone's country and now look at you.
But it's
Couldn't even get a limo.
It's a bit. It's a bit different though.
No, it's not. Do you know what? Do you know why it's not different as well? Because when these people go to their countries, African countries, they're pulling out red carpets. They're doing the absolute most. And then you come to their country and they've literally squashed you at your big age. You know how embarrassing that would be? I'm sorry, my husband could not be doing that. That is so embarrassing to see your grown ass husband, who is a president of a country, crouching to get into a bus. Ew, that is the ick. Oh my gosh.
I don't know the problem.
That ain't it.
Well, because I'm a grown man, I can't get on the bus. Coach.
No, it's just no. You can, yeah, but when you're the leader of a country, when you're at home, you're telling someone you get this, fetch this. You're doing in big boy cars, and then now you hitting the top of your head.
But
and get to a coach.
It's for convenience, no?
That's what it was for. And it wasn't just black African leaders, you know. It was white.
Yeah, no, but I'm black. I don't care about black people.
as many people at one time to the venue.
I just think
And imagine the amount of cars that would have had to pull up if everyone went solo.
it's giving ick. That's what it's giving.
This second headline happened actually before the actual funeral.
Yeah.
And basically a man was charged.
Wait. Trigger warning.
What's the trigger?
Didn't you put trigger warning in the document?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, sorry. Wrong. I'm in the wrong section. My bad. Sorry, y'all.
All right. So a man was charged with public order offence over the Queen's coffin. So a 28-year-old man has been charged with a public order offence after allegedly leaving a queue of mourners to approach the Queen's coffin on Friday. Mohammed Khan from Tower Hamlets in East London will appear at the Westminster Magistrates Court on Monday, today. The Met Police said he was charged under the Public Order Act. The live video feed of Westminster Hall cut away when the incident occurred at around 10 o'clock in the evening. A statement from the Met Police said Mohammed Khan, who's 28, was charged on Saturday, September 17th, with an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act, behaviour intending to cause alarm, harassment or distress. He's the second person to be charged with committing an offence while in the queue to see the Queen lying in state. A 19-year-old man was charged after allegedly exposing himself and pushing into mourners from behind as they waited in a line at Victoria Tower Gardens on Wednesday. Adio Adesina, I'm not going to say Adesina because I don't think he's Nigerian. He better not be.
Adesina.
He can't be. I'm not going to accept it. Was charged with 2 counts of sexual assault and 2 counts of breaching a sexual harm prevention order. He will appear at Southwark Crown Court on the 14th of October.
As in, so when you say exposing himself, as in like indecent exposure.
Yep.
What is wrong with people? Why is that the place to do that?
Them lines were hectic, innit? Did you see? I heard Beckham was in one of them queues for hours and things.
Yeah. 11
so
hours.
what? Man like Beckham can't get fast track.
That's exactly.
No, they came. He said no.
That's dead.
What's that?
Oh, is it?
Beckham was he queued up for 11 hours.
No, he didn't.
You did.
He got a fast track, I saw it.
What? You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I saw it.
I thought Philip Schofield and Holly, they got fast
Yeah,
track,
they got
but
fast
then
track.
everyone was comparing them to Beckham.
Beckham did.
You sure?
Yeah.
When they interviewed Beckham, they asked him. He said he's been there from last night.
Yeah.
I saw them escorting him.
Yeah, maybe when he got to the front, but then he
Yeah,
did a whole
maybe.
interview saying that, part of queuing up was part of the experience for him and all that stuff.
Okay. If he said it
Yeah.
from his mouth, then fair enough. But I think I saw a narrative saying that he got a fast track.
Was it? Because if you think I'm a celebrity and I'm about to queue up, you got nothing coming. That is so. If my celebrity status can't get me anything, you should at least get me this.
Yeah. So what? If you was a
That's so
celebrity, you
dead.
definitely would have accepted the fast track.
First, I mean, for me to be there anyway is a miracle. So I definitely need to get this over and done with as quick as I can. Yes, 100%.
What about you?
Of course, I accept the fast track as a normal person.
I
let
love a good
alone
fact.
being a celebrity.
I wouldn't
What?
have needed the fast track. I would have pushed in anyway.
Bro, I think I'm waiting for 11 hours for anything in life.
I would have walked straight to
Exactly.
the front of that queue.
I really was trying to think, what in this world could I possibly wait that amount of time for? Nothing. Nothing.
Wouldn't it help your public image though? If you
I
waited?
don't care about that. I'll give some money to charity. I will do other things. I will clean up the streets. I will pick up litter. There's other things I can do than wait 11 hours. There was some woman that so basically her and her husband were the last to see in the queue. They were, because they had to stop the queue at one point.
Yeah.
But they were the last people, and they asked her like how it felt, and she said, "Yeah, this country is embarrassing." She said it was the best thing she's ever done, and actually she would even say it's even better than when she gave birth to her kids.
Oh wow.
And she even named her son and her daughter. And she said it's the best thing, that it doesn't even compare to when she gave birth to her kids. And her husband was standing next to her thinking, that's not a divorce, babe. I don't know what it is. That's
He
embarrassing.
probably feels the same way though.
She was trying
Pathetic.
crap, man.
That's pathetic. You don't even chat crap for the news. Like,
She was trying crap.
You don't know, Like, remember this is
But
what I was
what's that
saying
gonna
to you
get her?
last week. This is their queen,
yeah, but what is that going to get you? Because all it was just got people just cussing her online. Like, wow, world's best parent kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's boy.
To be fair, I do think... Actually, let me not talk now because I'm talking. Never mind.
No, go on, talk.
We're good to.
Because I was going to say, I do think that the feeling of, oh, my child is the best thing to ever happen to me, I think is all hype.
But there you go. It might
Because
be
I
real
just
for
think you telling me, like, I get it. It's a kid. I get it. I understand. But I do think that I think I've spoken to people who feel like they have to socially say it, even though it's not what they really mean. Because if they don't say it, if they don't say that, people think they're a monster.
her. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, why do you need to offer it up though? Because like, if no one's asking, why do you need to say, oh yeah, having a
Because
child?
I think it's a social thing, especially
know.
for mums.
This is definitely going off on a tangent here, but you know, did you speak on Chrissy Tegan? And this new thing that happened with her.
I'm not sure.
Remember she had a miscarriage and stuff?
Yeah.
And
then are they expecting? I think they're expecting a new baby.
it's another. I'll tell you later.
Is it okay? Yeah.
It's something that's crazy.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah,
I want
it's
to know.
crazy.
So she's wilding.
Who's that?
But yeah, Chris Tegan,
Yeah, John Legend.
John Legend's wife.
Oh,
She's really. I like her though. She's really fun.
After you hear this one, you might not.
Dear. But no, yeah, a lot of women feel that pressure to say that that's the thing. Because I read like forums where, there's forums here where people would say their real thoughts. It's very scary though. Because there's men who are like, gosh, I hate my wife. I hate my life. Every time I come in, the kids are like, daddy, like, piss off. Like, they get really, really angry in there. And they're just like, I honestly just want, if I didn't have a moral compass, I'd just wake up and go. And it's like, damn. But then when they go home, they're being a loving husband, loving wife, loving partner, loving dad and everything.
It might
And as
not
women,
be.
I feel like that as well.
About their kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the
I
thing
get it.
though. Like to me, holding your child for the first time is
Yeah.
the best experience in the world. But when a child is messing around doing stuff, it may not be.
No, but you know what it is?
You know what
But
I'm
there are
saying?
people who like, they regret having children, but you can't say to anybody you regret without looking like you're a mean person.
I think
Yeah,
that's after
true.
the fact though. I reckon what you're talking about in terms of them saying that's the best thing that ever happened to them.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about the actual birth. Like you said,
Yeah.
when a child's first born, it's like, wow, I've created a child.
Yeah.
And that moment is the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And then when a child is one, like you said, running around the house, tearing the house apart, that's when it's like, fuck
Yeah.
these kids. So I think it's
Right,
the
the
initial
walls.
feeling of giving birth
Yeah.
is like, oh my God.
No, but there are some people though who are like,
After the fact is like,
no, but there are some people though who are like, this, like being a parent is the best thing to ever happen. Like nothing compares to this, which is fair. To be fair, everyone's got different.
I understand that though.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
Of course,
Even
yeah,
though
I
I'm
get
not,
it.
even though I'm not a parent, I can fully understand why that would be. Because I kind of think, what feeling trumps that really, in my head?
Because you see your
I mean-
child every single day that you made. It's
Okay,
amazing, man.
that's
Sweet.
just give it. I don't give a fuck about kids.
No, I think it's cute.
not
But then
about
again,
me.
I might change my mind maybe when I have children.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I just think that for me, because I'm not attaching.
Yeah.
I think it's the way I think. I'm not attaching life achievements and like life satisfaction and just. I'm not attaching these things to things that can be taken away, like things that, just things, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why. So even I don't know when I have kids, it might be that, but I think I just don't attach that much glory to stuff.
You ain't putting the baby into the thing category, are you? As in things.
It's a thing, isn't it?
Okay. No, I'm
Like childbirth is a
now
thing.
I'm clarifying if you're putting it into the thing category.
No, but if I'm putting it into the achievements category. So
Okay,
some women
okay.
as well, like being married is like the best thing to ever happen to them. So like stuff like marriage, giving birth, career and stuff like that. Like I just think these are amazing things that happen to you through life. I don't think this is gonna be the best thing to ever happen to me. Like I don't know.
In your mind, what do you think? What achievement or what something that you're gonna do that you're gonna be this is it. This is the pinnacle of my happiness. Because I don't think it's about success. I think it's about happiness. What do you think you're gonna achieve or do in your life that's gonna give you that feeling of, you know what, this is the happiest moment of my life?
I don't know, because I think there's so many things I want to do, but I think for me, my happiness is not attached to things, to achieving things, to accomplishing things.
Yeah.
It's more about how it is that I feel about myself. I feel like I will not be happy if I'm not on a steady growth in who I am as a person. So I can achieve stuff and whatever, but that all that stuff needs to be contributing to my growth as a person.
Yeah.
So my happiness and my joy and peace for me is in who I am as a person, not the extra. Of course, the extra things that come with me are great, but I think my mind is wired, it's all to do with me. And my growth my growth in life is my biggest. That's my biggest accomplishment. That's going to be the biggest accomplishment for me. And even when I think of kids, me being a good mother will be due to my growth all my life. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. No,
So again, it wouldn't even be so much the kids. It will be my growth that's enabled me to be a good mother.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. But the things and the moments that happen in your life, they are attached to your happiness.
Yeah.
Because you're not just going through life doing nothing, innit?
Yeah.
So the things you're doing, the things you're achieving, the moments, the things, they are the things that are contributing to this feeling that you're describing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these moments that are going to happen, they culminate in you feeling that happiness.
But you know what it is though? Because sometimes, like, have you ever had like something good happen, like something really, really good happen for you, but because you don't feel very great within yourself anyway, or you have like other stuff going on, you can't even be as happy for that thing because you're not good. So do you get me? So even when good things do happen for me, I don't know, because I'm not good in myself and I don't feel great in myself, I can't enjoy the thing that should be making me happy, if that makes sense. Like when I graduated, I was so indifferent. I didn't want to go to my graduation. The mom said I was being selfish, but I wanted to go to my graduation. Joke about itself, really. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting. Marcus, what?
You what?
So your face is killing him.
Right, I'm listening.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it really is.
All right.
Okay.
I hear you.
All right, let's get into our What You Sayin, our topic of the day.
Okay, so topic of the day, obviously linked to the Queen and her demise. And basically, the question is, do you care about how you'll be remembered? What's important to you? How you live or how you're remembered in death? And why? Because on the surface, I feel like it seems like an easy question, right? But is it really? Do you care about, like, what's more important to you? How you live, right? Or how you're remembered in death? How important is living the life you want to you?
Aren't those two things attached together? Because
How you live,
how you live for the most part is ultimately how you're going to be remembered.
Not necessarily. It could be, people could maybe, I don't know, slander your name afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but based off of what?
Based off a particular thing that, like for example, let's just say,
based off something you done while you was living. So I get what you're saying. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's
Even
just,
if you done
you're
something,
slandered.
even if it's something untoward, that's like something done in the dark that came to light after you passed. It's still because of your actions while you was here, innit?
Like, no one's going to slander your name once you've passed for no reason.
But
Yeah.
let's just say you lived your life, right, and it was 98% positive,
Yeah.
and that 2%,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, is
What they
is
hold on to.
negative. Yeah, what they hold
Yeah.
on to. What matters more to you?
What's the 2% thing? What is it?
Give me an example.
Because, for example, I hate bringing his name up, but R. Kelly, yeah?
Yeah.
R. Kelly, prior to, what's happening now, it was all about his music, his
Yeah, but
talent.
no, that's not like 2% of badness.
But now,
That's
that's
a
like,
good 75%.
No, no,
that's
but when
that's
he
a high
dies now,
percent of badness.
when he dies, now I'm talking about the singular act of the accusation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when he dies, he's gonna be remembered for that.
He has to be. I feel like he's done more bad than music.
Yeah, he remembers
All right,
that while
maybe
he
that's a
was
bad
living,
example
so
because what he
Maybe
does
Kevin
was
Samuels,
so
actually.
heinous.
known for that.
Kevin Samuels, but we didn't know Kevin Samuels prior to what he
that.
was doing. So we have to find someone where
Oh, MJ. Michael Jackson.
it's not the same as R. Kelly.
It's not, no one's the same as R. Kelly.
And MJ was
R. Kelly's R.
innocent
Kelly.
as well.
But with him, he
Yeah,
had the
you're right.
accusation though.
He was
So some
innocent.
people, he was really good. Like people think he's a legend, but there is that 2% where people think that he perhaps did this thing. He's a good example. I think it's stained.
No, he's a bad example because he's innocent.
There you go.
Sorry, mute his mic, please. You can't.
You're
can't sit
going
my-
to mute all our mics.
Exactly.
I can't, so that's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that
Because
because
that
when
man
I hear
didn't do it.
when I hear Michael Jackson, I see news articles. That's
Yeah,
just
no,
that.
that's facts, yeah. But you see that, say like Jimmy Savile and them, man, yeah. A lot of these people, yeah, we see when they died, yeah. That's a good way to check it. Yeah, you see once they die, yeah, there's no defense, if that makes sense. There's no one to defend them. There's no nothing. So once they die, that's when everybody piles on and
Yeah.
it gets crazy, and you start finding out all this extra stuff. With MJ, even in his death, that's not happening. It's still the same old bullshit stuff from before, from when he was alive. It's not like we've uncovered everything and we've unearthed it now. And now we know the real truth and all that. There ain't no real truth. Like Donnie's innocent.
That's what I'm saying. I asked you last week, God, and you told me the answer.
This is it.
Right?
No, I'm not God. That's blasphemous. I'm not God today, please. Don't
Oh,
do
is it now?
Oh, now it's blasphemy today. Not when you did a whole production last week.
that. No, that was for a purpose. That was fine. God
This is
understood.
what you call
He has some
callback.
time to wind down.
You know what I mean?
That is so funny, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think. Do I care what people think about me?
It's funny, yeah, because obviously, like, even someone like me, yeah, I'm always saying that. Like, I don't care what people think of me, because I probably don't. Yeah, but facts is, yeah, the only thing, especially that when you're not here, once you go, yeah, the only thing that matters is what people thought about you.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing that matters.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
Yeah, I think
So-
I think I'm the same one. Like I don't care what people think, blah blah. I do care that people like is good things about me that's said about me when I die, but then the reality, because I'm quite like I like to think realistically. I'm not gonna be here to know, so it's not really gonna have an effect on me. Do you get what I mean? I'm already at my destination, but it would be nice for people to
it's not an
to
effect
remember
on
for
you.
good
It's about
things.
your family and everybody
Yeah,
else.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking
They
I
get
care
that
more so about what
vision.
my loved ones think about me, my family, my friends. I don't really care what the public. The public don't care about me. So when I die, like, come on, man, they'll think about me for 5 seconds and then they'll go about their life. But my mum, my dad, my sisters, my cousins, my friends, my close associates, those are the ones that I care about. I don't care about what someone who doesn't.
No, but
care
that's what
about
I'm
me
saying. Like, it's for the whole experience more is for them, innit? So like, if you have a funeral and or people are saying good things about you, whatnot, us to say, obviously she's not going to be here for it, but it'll be nice and comforting for your family and your loved ones to hear other people saying nice things about you, so they know that your time here wasn't just like in vain, or like at least like you had an impact on people here.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is for them, innit? You get me?
Yeah.
So even with that, even though it's not for you, it would be better to have people be saying nice things about you, because if people are just saying horrible things about you, that's horrible for your family and shit, innit?
But those your funeral will be your family. No, I don't reckon. People who don't like you.
But that's
be
not
there.
necessarily.
No,
at your
sometimes people
funeral,
are there
but
to
it's-
spit in your grave. Spit in your grave.
Yeah, but that's an extreme level, isn't it? I mean, like, would you wake up to go to the funeral of someone that you hated?
If it was someone that I absolutely loved, I wouldn't want to make sure you're dead. If my hatred was so deep,
I
because
don't
there's
think
people
so.
who do that, and I understand where they're coming from, because what that person has done to them is just, it's mad. So there are people who do that just to make that, it's like they get some kind of closure on the fact that, yeah, you're 10 feet down. Like I know someone like that who passed away, and it was actually, what he did was so like, I don't want to get into this because it's very heavy on a Tuesday morning, but people actually came because for them it was some kind of relief that you're not around anymore to like torment them kind of thing. I get it. I think because sometimes people do things that are just shocking to people. So I get it, but personally, I can't. I don't have hate in my heart like that. Do you get me? Even when I do, I just ignore you. You're dead to me before you even actually die. Do you get me? So I wouldn't take myself out of bed to.
Yeah, there's no one I can think of. I don't hate anyone.
Do that.
I'm not going to no one's funeral. Like, I don't care about.
Yeah.
What's the point?
If I was at your funeral and I found out extra things, I might throw a young rockin', but apart from that.
So, like you just said, like if you're at a funeral, you find out extra things about the person, right? That wasn't the nicest. But every single interaction and experience you've had with them has been spectacular. Would that taint how you look at the person?
I'll be aware of what you were to other people. Do you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes...
It depends what they were doing, innit? It's always going to have to it's always going to have to depend on what they were doing.
What it is.
Yeah, I think, but I would be aware that I can't get that information and then just be like, well, he was like nice to me. I'm very aware that people have different experiences with each person. Do you get me? Like, even with us, like, our experiences with each individual is different to what someone else might say. So I'm very aware that my experience with someone is my experience with them. So they were nice to me. That doesn't necessarily mean that they were a nice person in general. They might have been a bitch to everybody else but me for whatever reason. So do you get me? So I wouldn't.
Does that matter then?
Sorry?
Does it matter then? If
It does.
your only experience with them is nice, then they're a nice person to you because you can only talk about your relationship with them.
Yeah, but I think if I talk about people, I like to know that I like to be around people that are nice. I'm not for people who are just nice to me or just do nice things to me. If you're nice to me and I see you being horrible to someone else, I will separate myself from you on account of how you treat other people. I'm very big on how people treat other people. I don't like stuff like that. So for me, that will make a difference because you're nice to me, yes, but that's probably because it's beneficial to you. So then people who it's not beneficial, who don't have any, who can't benefit you, you treat them horribly. It's like when people, this is something simple, but well, not simple, but not like death, but people who go to like restaurants and they talk and they disrespect like people, the waiters and waitresses and stuff like that. That is such a bad, like, I hate stuff like that. So you're nice to me because I'm your friend, yes, but then us strangers, you're horrible to them. I can't be around someone like that.
The thing is, that more speaks to people that are alive, innit? So if you go to a funeral and you hear people talking ill of someone that you've had great experiences with, how does that now change anything for you? Because one, that person's dead, so you're not even able to convey your feelings to that person. No, but all you're left with are the good memories that you had with that person. Joe Blogs and whoever saying ill of them, that person's dead now, innit? So how does that translate to you?
It translates to me because my memory of this person is tainted. Yes, you were nice to me, but again, I'm big on how people treat other people in general. I treat everybody that I come across nice. Unless you're horrible to me, then you match the same energy. Do you get me? So even if our encounter was the best thing ever, but then I'm at your funeral and I'm hearing people saying horrible things you did to them and all that kind of stuff, it does take my memory of you. I can't address it with you. Yes, fair enough, but the memory I have of you is tainted. I think the way I am, like, that's just how, honestly, that's just how God created me.
I hear you. I think it depends.
It does take away from me.
I think it depends what it was that they done to the person.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it was, severe, then yeah, I get it. But if it was like just their personal interactions, like, oh, so-and-so was a bit of a dickhead to me, versus so-and-so done, if you think about something crazy, something heinous, right? That, of course.
Even then, you're at a funeral and there's 5 people who say this person was, every time they encountered them, were very rude to them. That would change my opinion of this person.
You think so?
For me, it will.
Give a shit.
I don't think
for me, it will.
I wouldn't give a shit.
Because rude is subjective.
Like,
rude is
my
tailored to the actual
is that they're nice
circumstance.
Yeah,
why were they rude? They might be rude for a reason.
They can't hear that
but
you're
I'd be
talking,
like,
Margs.
I can hear.
I
don't know who they
hear
is.
him. I can hear him. Please, relax.
Yeah, but if like, anyway, I'm wired differently, and I know that about myself. It's things put me off. What'd you say?
Oh, you just can't hear me then.
I'm ignoring anything this morning. I'm not here for it. Sorry, Margs, what'd you say? One more time.
You know what? Because you got your dreads, I'm gonna allow you. It's not a headphone.
First of all, I don't have dreads. I have locks.
But you...
Let's put that out there. I'm so done.
Yusuf, you should have your headphones on.
Definitely hear that.
That I didn't hear.
But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm just like that. and I accept myself as that. I'm very big on how other people are treated. Like, I've known people who care about me and are very nice to me, and I've seen them not treat other people in the nicest ways. And I'd be lying if I said it did not affect the memories I have of them and they passed away.
But I'm not nice to everybody though. I'm not nice to everyone. I could be a prick. So
and also, I know that person didn't deserve it.
But
I'm nice to the people that I like.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So what does that mean then? So anybody else is like, that shouldn't diminish my experience I've had with someone because I was horrible to somebody else. Because if I heard that, I'll be like, well, boy, maybe they just didn't like you because he was always nice to me. You get me? Me and him was cool.
Yeah.
That you got to reevaluate your relationship with them, not me evaluate my relationship.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But again, this is how I am, guys.
And also, you're here.
There's much to do by it.
No, I'm not trying to sway you or change your mind. I'm just having the conversation. And also, I'm not under the notion that people go to funerals of people they don't like anyway. That's just me. I don't even know that's a thing. So if you're here for a reason. I don't want to hear you're here because you want to make sure I'm dead. Me, I don't want to hear that. If you're here, you're here for a reason. Whether or not you had a few bad experiences with me or not, you came to my funeral to pay your respects. I don't want to hear that. I'm here to.
People love to try and rewrite history, though. Okay. I've seen people at funerals. I've seen people at people's funerals. I know fully well you didn't like them, or maybe you thought you didn't like them in life, but then in their death and in their passing, you kind of tried to put all that stuff behind you or thought it was trivial or something. I don't know. I can't speak to the mindset of it, but I've seen people at people's funerals who, as far as I was concerned, they didn't like each other, or you didn't like him. Like, you get me?
Yeah. All right. Well, you're from a different world where that thing probably rocks. So I can take your word for it. But for me, I just find it weird. I find it weird that I would leave my house to go to a funeral with someone I didn't like.
Because it depends on what you didn't like them over. So after they passed, it might be like, oh, you know what? That wasn't even that deep. Let me go and pay my respects, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, but that's different then. If I've realized in their passing that, you know what, the beef we had wasn't that serious. Now,
but someone else from the outside looking in, watching you at that funeral, is not gonna know the realization that you had. They're just gonna see you and think, "Oh, what's you doing it?" I swear you don't like my man.
But that's for them to worry about.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't really hold a lot of sentiment anyway when it comes to like death, and I've really intentionally separated myself from the idea of sentiments and stuff. I think sometimes you can live life in bondage on account of sentimental stuff, and I'm not there for that. So that's why I don't whole respect the dead thing. I don't subscribe to that.
That's why I don't respect the dead. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but if you're a twat when you're alive, don't think because you no longer exist, you automatically stop being a twat. Yeah, you're just a twat that got away quickly if I can get you. No, really, I don't subscribe to sentiments. I don't subscribe to things that take away from how I'm really feeling about something. No, I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy.
You
time.
You were convincing me the other way around the other day. Remember we had a conversation off air?
I can't remember what that was about.
We'll talk about it later.
But I do remember saying though that I don't deal with sentiments. That's why the whole Queen stuff, I couldn't act like I cared. Because not that I love that she died. Of course, you know, death is death. But I wasn't going to pretend or act up, or because everyone around me is like, oh, this is sad. I feel indifferent to it. Someone's lost their grandma and their mum, and that is very, very sad. But outside of that part,
that's it.
It's just is what it is. But yeah.
Okay. That's it, really.
Is that all the questions you have for us?
Well, there was one more, but I think you guys kind of answered it, really.
What was it?
Basically, would you want like a big funeral, or would you just want a few in attendance?
Oh.
Does that matter to you?
No. I don't think I need everyone to show up and show out.
I want a spectacle. I want cues.
Of course you do.
I want cues. I want a national holiday. I want a spectacle still. I want a whole experience. I want it to be like a whole thing, like a vibe.
And what's more important to you guys? Yeah. So you had your life. You lived to, let's say, 90, right? And you're remembered fondly by your friends, your family, and then obviously your grandchildren, and then obviously eventually with time, you know, like everything, they forget about you.
Yeah.
Or you live to half that age, and you're remembered for 1,000 years.
I think for me, I'll have more fulfillment in living a life where I have like grandchildren and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Because if they remember me for 1,000 years, what's that gonna do? Do you know what I mean? You remember me for 1,000 years fair, but then the people that are closest to me, their experiences of me will be like no other.
I mean, it means you've done something with your life,
Yeah,
though, innit?
the impact.
Yeah, but
Because
again, I'm not.
there's people that we know their names that we've never have met. We would never have met. It's impossible from hundreds of years ago, whatever, or things that they've done for achievements, and we're still talking about them now, and their name will live on forever. And I suppose that means something, because if you don't, once everybody you know dies, so do you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like once because your name, there's no one to say your name anymore. Like, so it's dead, isn't it? But there's people from hundreds of years ago. Their name's never gonna die because everybody uses their name. Like it's in books, it's in literature, it's in and their name's gonna live on forever. And that would be quite. I don't know, because if you could get to that level, that means you clearly done something worthwhile, innit?
Yeah.
You feel me? So that would be cool. What would be wrong with? I would love that shit.
Yeah, I don't really.
Obviously, you don't get to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
But it's an impact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't really care to make an impact.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think I come and just go, and then what?
No, but that's the thing. I'm not saying I'm living an empty life. I'm doing things that I'm doing. I don't care if my name lasts thousands of generations and there's kids in university who are quoting me in the books. Like, stuff like that I don't care about. I care about being present in the world and knowing that I've had an impact on people. That I care more than people knowing that I've had an impact. But again, these are the things that I hold. These are the things that fulfill me as an individual.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So, I would choose the first. Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, I don't know, like, to me, I think since I've been small, man, I don't know, I just have an affinity with, like, the whole idea of immortality, innit?
Yeah.
And I remember watching, have you not seen the film Troy with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Sick film, yeah. So anyway, right. So he basically, there's a part before, like, this huge war, innit?
Yeah.
And he goes to see his mum, and his mum, I guess, she got some, like, the gift of prophecy and stuff, innit? And she basically says to him, look, if you don't go to this war, you're going to have a beautiful wife, you're going to have beautiful children, they're going to remember you, they're going to speak fondly of you, and your kids will, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, but eventually your name's going to be forgotten. Yeah. But if you go to this war, you will never come back again. But you will be remembered for generations to come. And he chose to go to war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that makes perfect sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like what Mark was saying. To be able to leave something behind that's worth being remembered for. Because obviously you don't care. I mean, not that you don't care, but you don't know if you're being remembered. You're dead. That's it.
Yeah, that's why. That's
but
why
the
it makes
impact is you came and you did something that's worth being remembered for.
That same impact, it's more important for me to feel that when I'm here and present than for me to die and there's impact I cannot feel.
Yeah, that also makes sense to me as well.
So for me, my impact while I'm alive is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
If there's people walking around and they're gonna die one day too, but in their heart they know that, Esther did this or helped me with this or whatever, that means more to me than my name in, like, when I think of historical people, there's nobody that I hold dear in the same way that, say, I don't want to use my mum, my family, for example, but like someone like, say, Brent. There's no one whose work I can think of historically who has had such an impact on my life the way Brent has in my present. So if I pass away, I think that's the most important thing. But again, I understand. I just think everyone's kind of got different goals and desires and aspirations and things that fulfill us. And for me, that is more fulfilling for me to live a life where I know that I've had this, even if I don't get the praise for it, but I know that, while I was here, my purpose was fulfilled and stuff, than me still doing that, but then years and years on, it lives on. I couldn't give two shits because I'm not here. I'm not going to feel it. It makes no difference to my life.
I think to me, it's the difference is that I know before I'm gone, for example, potentially, that it made a difference to, let's just say, millions of people. For example, look at Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. These lot, they never got to see their children grow. They never got to see their grandchildren.
But you know what it is though? Sometimes you don't even get the flowers that you deserve until you die.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not doing it for the flowers.
Personally, I don't think you ever get your flowers you deserve until you really die.
And you're not doing it for the flowers.
You're not doing it for the
doing
flowers.
It for the betterment of whatever your goal is. And you can rest assured that, okay, I died for this. But because of my sacrifice, there's millions of people who now have a better life. You exist and you have the things that we may take for granted today.
Yeah.
they died for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't need to know you personally. You don't need to thank me. But the impact of my life was such that, you know what I'm saying?
It might sound like a funny parallel, but would you rather die at 25, like Tupac did, have no kids, so your lineage didn't continue on, but you made a huge impact, right? Or someone like Nick Cannon, who's got tons of kids,
Seeds everywhere.
his lineage is going to be carrying on now for God knows what, but his impact is nowhere near Tupac's impact, isn't it? What would you rather? Your lineage carry on forever, or make an impact that lasts forever?
That's a good question, you know.
Marcus's face is killing me.
Yeah, he's waiting patiently to answer that same question.
Yeah,
I don't know. I do not want to be a martyr for the people.
Massive impact.
I'm not trying to be a martyr.
I just dawned on me now. He hasn't got no kids.
Tupac, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have no kids.
Yeah, but I can't lie to you. For the first time in my life, I might actually want to be Nick Cannon. Because why? I've died at 25. Yes, the impact, but I can't benefit from it. Because you know what it is? I think it's also like my view of life. Like I'm very, very in tune with the fact that life is temporary. Like life is fleeting. I'm here today, gone tomorrow. So while I have life, for me, I want to feel everything I want to feel. Good, bad, whatever it is. And like my biggest desires in life are to do with life. Things that are to, do you know what I mean? Things that are to do with life. Yeah. Not death. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I just think it doesn't appeal to me personally, but
it's a tough one for me, you know. But I love the idea. I mean, I've said it on here.
Actually, it's very tough one for you.
Exactly.
Because you want impact, but then you love a
Children.
multiple children situation.
Oh, it's a tough one.
Rock and a hard place.
It's a very tough one.
I need to leave something behind. So obviously, like being Tupac and that, it's all very cool and that, but it would be better if you had something.
No, I really can't hear this guy talking. Oh, Jesus.
What? Because you ain't got headphones on?
First of all, head
But
teacher, you need to relax.
prior to this little instance here, you were talking with, good volume.
You know, that
Yeah,
you
but if you had
whispering
the
and shit.
headphones on, there would have been no issue whatsoever.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we had a light skin Brent in here today. What's going on here?
They're on now, don't worry, so I can hear you loud and clear. Let's go.
It's giving school time, like being told off.
Yeah, no, I'm saying though, the Tupac thing, because obviously he's got a good legacy, but it'd be better if he had kids at least. No, at least a one.
Yeah. So at least benefit from all the legacy.
At least on one.
100%.
At least a one.
One picnic there.
Look at one picnic, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather have kids and leave something behind.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards Nick. Not as extreme as Nick,
extreme.
but yeah.
Definitely not as
If you had to
extreme as
choose
Nick.
one.
Yeah, I choose one,
But Nick's just doing that because he's dying, isn't it?
yeah. Well, I
That's
guess.
mad.
Iman doesn't believe
I
that. I'm
kinda-
going to send you the interview.
I don't know. I just
No, he has lupus.
lupus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Iman thinks I'm
What
making
is
up
that?
alternative facts.
Remember, I was
Is
just
lupus
asked.
like terminal?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. You know, Tony Braxton's got lupus, isn't it?
Actually,
Yeah.
How does she?
But then Jay Dilla also had lupus too. So
and he
I can't believe she's married
Yeah.
to Birdman. Such
She's
a
who?
rat.
not
What did
married
you
to
say?
Birdman.
Are they married?
She's with him. I don't know they're married, but they're
I saw
together.
they got married secretly.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Who's with Birdman?
Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton.
No way.
It's the most
Yeah,
random thing ever.
They've been together like for years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know they're
I
married.
think
though.
you're right. You know, because
Birdman with Tony
First of
Braxton.
all,
No,
first
she
of all,
is right.
don't think I'm right. Brent, we might need to pull up the contract and let people know that I was high for a reason.
No, Tony Braxton and Birdman have been together for
Yeah,
ages.
and apparently
But I didn't know they were married.
Yeah, apparently it was a secret marriage.
I think I heard the marriage part. So when you're saying that they were definitely together,
Yeah.
it's now like, yeah.
I
Very
did
random.
not know that. What the hell is Tony Braxton doing with Birdman?
Exactly, that's the same thing I thought.
Yeah.
It is random.
But the sisters like him and everything.
Probably
He
a
actually
nice
gets
guy.
him the
innit?
family and everything.
Not Brownstone. No, they're called. That's not them.
No,
Braxton
no,
family, babes.
I think the group is
Brownstone?
called the Braxtons.
Yeah, they call the Braxtons.
Yeah.
I said
Oh, the
Brownstone.
Braxtons, that's it.
Yeah.
No, that's the next group. That looks
Yeah,
like
no. Brownstone is a different group completely.
That's so funny. Nah, that's jokes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Brent,
man.
what about you? Would you choose
Yeah, they're
Tupac or Nick?
married.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they're married now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't hear an apology going. You, sir.
We didn't doubt you.
You did. It wasn't a we thing. They believed me. You did.
No, but I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Esther.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Brent, Nick kind of knows Tupac. Who you picking?
Ask the question again.
Would you rather die at 25 like Tupac, leave a huge legacy, make a massive impact, but have no kids, or be Nick Cannon, where you haven't really left much of an impact, to be fair. But you've had tons of kids, so your lineage is going to live on forever.
All right, I will definitely die young.
Yeah.
Because you already know my stance on children.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that my children are going to.
Children. My children.
There's no guarantee that my children are going to leave as big an impact to affect more lives positively than Tupac did.
Okay.
So 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to have kids, so more so they can leave a legacy, as opposed to just having kids so your name.
I
just
don't want
goes
to
on
have kids that don't benefit the world.
the world.
Yeah. If they're not.
So what if
affecting
you had
positively-
kids, but one of them was gonna have Tupac's legacy? Would you do that then?
There you go.
If more than one of them would leave a bigger impact, then cool. Yeah.
You want more than one Tupac? You gotta be.
You're greedy.
You're being
Because
ridiculous.
if it's
You're
just
being
one,
greedy.
I can't substitute my life for that. I already told you about how I feel about these children, man.
Just throw them off the cliff.
Come on.
Yeah, the
come on.
vibes.
Yeah, I ain't gonna change my mind about that.
No.
That makes
These
sense. Man.
hypotheticals. these theories.
Hypogeticals. There's only black people that love these.
Yeah.
Oh, is hypothetical a real thing?
No, it's the black version.
Oh.
Because we love to make up these damn scenarios
Okay.
that may never happen. All right. Okay. Let's get into our next headlines.
Is based in Leicester. I don't believe there's a trigger warning for this, but basically, there's a lot of back and forth going on in the Asian community in Leicester. Police and community leaders have called for calm after large-scale disorder in Leicester. Officers tried to hold back crowds on Saturday night amid tensions involving mainly young men from sections of the Muslim and Hindu communities. It's the latest in a series of disturbances, including violence following the India and Pakistan cricket match on the 28th of August. As a result, a significant police operation will remain in the area in the coming days. Suleiman Nagdi of the Leicester-based Federation of Muslim Organisations told the BBC, "What we have seen on the streets is very alarming. There have been problems in the community since the India and Pakistan cricket match, and while that game often sparks gatherings, they have not been in the past turned this ugly. We need calm. The disorder has to stop, and it has to stop now. There's some very dissatisfied young men who have been causing havoc. We need to get the message out that this must end and try to do this through parents and grandparents talking to their sons." Sanjeev Patel, who represents the Hindu and Jain temples across Leicester, said he was deeply saddened and shocked by Saturday night's disorder. He said, "We have lived in harmony in the city for many decades, but over the past few weeks, it's clear that there are things that need to be discussed around the table to get out what people are unhappy about. Resorting to violence is not the way to deal with this. We are horrified and deplore what has been going on across the last 2 weeks. Across the Hindu and Jain community, and with our Muslim brothers and sisters and leaders, we're consistently saying calm minds, calm heads." He added, "Violence is not a solution to anything. This has to be a time for peace, calm, and engagement." Leicestershire police confirmed 2 arrests have been made and said the trouble flared up after what the force called an unplanned protest. 1 man was detained on suspicion of conspiracy to commit violent disorder and another on suspicion of possession of a bladed article. Both of them remain in police custody. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And even since this particular headline, it seems like things have gotten worse as well. You got people burning flags at temples and all sorts. Yeah, man, it's looking quite crazy over there, man. Hopefully they can sort that out, man. Next headline, trigger warning. A man's been charged over a knife attack on 2 police officers. So a 24-year-old man has been charged in connection with the stabbing of 2 police officers in central London on Friday. Mohammed Rahman is accused of attempted murder and causing grievous bodily harm with intent. One of the officers suffered what has been described as life-changing injuries to her arm in the attack near Leicester Square. Another officer suffered neck wounds but is expected to recover fully. The 2 officers, both attached to the Met's Central West Command Unit responsible for police in Westminster, were carrying out routine duties and not part of the wider policing operation in place following the Queen's death. Rahman will appear at Wimbledon Magistrates Court on Monday, i.e. today. Yeah, it is. People are... Yeah, I don't know what people are doing, man. But anyway, that's the end of the headlines.
Alrighty. Wow, let's get into Word on Road. The British people were mourning and they were respectful. They held all their drama to the side while the Queen was being buried. But yeah, so my first bit of news is that Kelly Clarkson, she got a Walk of Fame star in Hollywood, and so yeah, which was really really sweet. She also attended the ceremony with her she was the first. She's basically the first American Idol, so she won the first show, and she was there with like the original, I guess the judges at the time that she won as well, who started the show. It looked really really cool, and the lady the producer of the Walk of Fame, she said Kelly Clarkson has been long deserving of a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She has been an iconic person in American pop culture since she walked onto the first audition stage on American Idol, and has continued to impress fans with her musical and talk show prowess. Also, which I didn't know, she's got other accolades. So she got a Daytime Emmy award for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show, and this was in 2022, it was this year. She's also got 3 Grammy Awards, 4 American Music Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, 2 Academy of Country Music Awards, and 2 American Country Awards. I did not know she had that much accolades, but big up her. And she said, "This is where I won 20 years ago. I feel very lucky and fortunate because I know a lot of talented people that love singing and are amazing at it and writing songs and even talk show hosts. A lot of people could do that, and I feel very fortunate that I get the chance. There are dreams you didn't know you had and they end up happening and you feel super blessed." And yeah, so Simon Cowell was there, Paula Abdul and Randy Jackson. They were all there. And apparently Simon fought. So she basically helped them to kind of get a new season, I guess. So he didn't think that the show would carry on. But when she walked in, and her talent was just amazing, because apparently Paula Abdul had said she was going to resign because it was just not, the auditions were just crap. So yeah, so big up her for getting that. And she does have a talk show as well, actually, which is the Kelly Clarkson show, and she's been running for 4 seasons. And the next is, I guess, love and hip hop kind of news. But yeah, so Erica Mena and Safaree, so they got married in 2019. It was a whole thing. But they basically got a divorce, but they would have so many like public fights, and it's kind of like Princess Love and Ray J. Today they're gonna get divorced, tomorrow they're not gonna get divorced. It's the whole thing. But actually their divorce has now been finalized. And I saw a clip, I'm not sure if it's from the new season coming up, where they kind of reflect on their marriage and stuff. And he appeared to be very upset. But Safaree strikes me as one of those guys who, when you're telling him what he's done, he's upset about it. But then you leave that room and then you just go and do the same thing anyway. So what are these tears for, really and truly? But he was he was horrible to her. And I think also, so he was very infatuated with Erica Mena. Like he really, really fancied the heck out of her. And it's like weird because when he then got her, because they kind of got in a relationship quickly, got married quickly, everything kind of went just really left. So I don't know, ladies, if you want to be with men who are very infatuated with you, it never really works. I'm yet to see a great example of that. But yeah, so basically he will be paying her $4,305 a month, I guess, for child support, because I've got 2 kids. Kids are absolutely beautiful. Who kissed the teeth? It was you, wasn't it? What's wrong with that? Sorry, what's wrong with that amount of money?
No, nothing.
But yeah, so yeah, their divorce is basically finalized, and I hope she can heal because he really put her through a lot of stuff. So recently as well, he had a sex tape that got leaked, and he claimed that, I don't know if I reported it, I can't remember.
Yeah, you did.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
And he claimed it wasn't him. Okay, Safaree, it was you, allegedly. And then my next bit of news is just on the topic of penises being shown. 50 Cent is basically suing a Miami doctor because they basically alleged that he had, He had a penis enlargement surgery. And one thing about that man, he's going to protect his name and he's going to take it to jail. So apparently they said that he had a, I think they kind of put out there, their plastic surgery hospital, I guess, and they kind of put out there that, he's had some help kind of thing. But he's basically suing them. I think they put out a picture that he did. And he's basically suing them. And his lawyer said Jackson, which is 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, never had such a sexual enhancement procedure. He has never received plastic surgery from defendants, and he never consented to the commercialization and publication of the photo. Defendant's actions have exposed Jackson to ridicule, caused substantial damage to his professional and personal reputation, and violated his right to control his name and image. Which is so funny because all that man does on his page is clown people all the time. It's just very interesting. But yeah, and then they also added like stuff, you know, kind of, I guess, receipts to the courts, and apparently someone said he should be called 50-inch. Just crazy. But yeah, and then my last bit of news, which is actually, I think, the juiciest part of the weekend, was August Alsina and Tory Lanez got in a tussle. So there was a show of which Tory has now been kicked off. There's basically like this little tour thing going on, and he's been kicked off it basically. But apparently they kind of, so you remember when August came out with the whole Jada stuff, whatever. Mm-hmm. Tory Lanez has some kind of freestyle, I think, or something, some kind of music track where he's basically saying, I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to basically talk like August and put my business out there, basically. So I guess he kind of bantered August about it. And then when he saw August backstage, he's trying to do all, oh, hey, da-da-da-da. And August was like, no, I'm not going to be acting all fake with you. You've been talking behind my back or whatever. But then...
But he was joking though, innit?
He was joking.
Yeah, Tory. Only banter, innit? Type
What was banter?
The stuff that you said.
Yeah, but keep the same energy. Don't banter me at a time when the world is literally piling on and then see me backstage when no one's here and then come and do, oh, hi, brother. I'm not your brother. So, but yeah, so... August wasn't like, apparently August wasn't threatening anything. He was just like, no, keep the same energy. You can't go online and say things about me. And then you see me now, you're trying to do all bestie. And then Tory sucker punched him, basically.
Oh, wow.
Did they post a picture of himself bleeding?
Yeah, I did. So he said, so August said they staged that shit. They had a camera recording the whole time. He ain't go post the video because I hate, do you know what, I'm sorry. People who can't spell, it really stresses me out. So basically, I'm going to just interpret into my own proper English, but he's not going to post the video because he's going to incriminate himself for doing that hoe ass shit. Anyone can sucker punch someone when they're not expecting it. That man was talking to, yeah, it was just a whole thing. Sorry, the words are just confusing. Let me just read August's actual caption. So he says, as I'm exiting the building after the show, this way he tells us what happened. Last night, a 4'11" size leprechaun ran down on me with 8 oversized security guys, whom I greeted each individually upon their walk up as they tried to press me. Whole time I'm one deep, no security. Tory continues to ask with a broken ego why I didn't dap him up. Sorry. I go on to tell him I was a fan of him and didn't understand him speaking on my business publicly in the past because I don't know him or ever met him until last night. So when he spoke, it caught me off guard because of his past actions. I assumed he didn't like me, that's all. Not to mention, with my history of health and condition, just recently overcoming being paralyzed, my doctor directed me not to compromise my health while out on road and shake as less hands as possible due to corona and monkeypox. And that is true. The man is really ill. Never any disrespectful words were exchanged, so I was a bit confused at how someone he turned himself up with anger after hitting a blunt laced with cocaine, obviously. I heard the fizzle. And he snuck me when I turned my head to move to the side amongst all his antsy moving and to keep an eye on the endless guys that was with him surrounding me, which was security and some guy with a gun tucked, whom he then proceeded to run behind and hide to run back in the building. There was never a fight, simply an assault. Dude has no real friends and is on a crash out mission. With that said, I was going to keep it G and not come to the net, but you moving with foul intent, feeding falsities to blogs to look for a moment, because those moments ain't happening on stage for you. I will assist you in that gracefully. His people got the whole thing on camera, put the footage out. And apparently he will not do that because obviously he then proves August's point. But I wonder if this August would like press charges on this. And this will be his second case because, you know, he's still kind of dealing with the one with Meghan. But I don't know, man. I personally, on the whole Meghan thing, I believe Meghan on that because Tory Lanez, guys who are very, very short tend to have short man syndrome. They tend to, they just feel like the world is against them. And so they tend to act out any little chance. They're literally like Scrappy-Doo. I don't know if you ever watched Scooby-Doo when Scrappy was on it. And Scrappy used to try and get in fights all the time. You're little. Respect, like play your height. Stop it. Do you get what I mean? So personally, I believe it. And we'll see what happens. I'll see if he ends up pressing charges and sees what happens. And yeah, but big up August Alsina anyway. The guy's just minding his business. He's lost the love of his life.
I hope no one who's short is triggered by that.
There might be.
What's the percentage?
What?
Would be a small, like no one's as short as Tory Lanez.
I don't even know how tall he is. What's his official height?
I mean,
Don't say
August said
4'11".
4'11.
He can't
No,
be.
he's joking.
Let's
That's-
Google it.
Isn't that like a dwarf? I mean,
don't-
if you're no, okay.
I
no,
know call
no,
little people now. How tall is
I don't know what the
Tory Lanez?
PC term is.
I think it's little people. Tory Lanez, that man is not 5'3". I'm 5'4". He's not 5. That's a lie.
He must be like that though.
He's not.
You know how
Apparently-
short
Stop
4'11"
it.
is?
Do you know what it is? He claims to be 5'7".
5'3". What's 5'3"?
An inch shorter than me.
Yeah, that's believable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's believable.
I don't know. He looks small.
4'11" is.
He looks small. He looks as small as Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nicki's 5'2".
I can believe that he's that height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tory's little, you know.
Have you seen
Tory's
the video
little.
of him on Sway when he gets up from the chair? But
And there's a difference.
there's no height difference. He's the same height as he was sitting on the chair. It's insane.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Listen, sure niggas be acting tall. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on the case, and I do hope he does take him to court because I just think it's mad. But yeah, so the Chrissy Tegan thing. Do you want to tell me what the kind of tea is?
So basically, I've kind of heard it from one angle, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, this is the gist of it. Remember before? I think you obviously mentioned it before when she had the miscarriage and everything.
Oh
right?
yes.
So basically, you know, there was pictures and everything, and I think because I wondered the same thing, like who took the pictures? You know what I'm saying? Because the pictures,
When she and John went in
Yeah.
the hospital,
because they did kind of looked. I don't want to be insensitive
but like professional.
and kind of staged.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because like you know she's gone through the pain and everything, but there
Yeah.
are certain shots like there's one where she's sitting on the bed, kind of like almost like praying.
Yeah,
You know, Legend is basically on her, kind of comforting her. All of this from different angles as well.
Yeah.
So it's like they had like a professional photographer there.
yeah.
Anyway, long story short, it's emerged there that because of this whole Roe and Wade thing, which the abortion law was basically overturned.
Yeah.
She's come out and basically said it wasn't actually a miscarriage.
No.
I'm telling you, this is what's happened. She's come out and basically said it was an abortion because of like medical reasons. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically what she said.
That's fair, but she could have run with that original story in the
Thank
first
you very
place.
much. Thank you very much. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Because there's women who
So yeah, exactly. So basically, what she said was, I think she was going through some stuff. I don't know what she was going through, but basically, her husband, Mr. John Legend, basically, she said he basically made her feel comfortable about the fact that wait a minute, you know what? Don't feel bad about this whole situation. What you actually had was an abortion. So people are coming out thinking, wait a minute, you're obviously just saying this to stay relevant, like you always been doing.
because she's
You know what I'm saying? It's like what? How? There's a big difference between a miscarriage
There's defo a big
and an abortion,
difference.
a medical abortion.
And that's very insensitive.
There you go.
And they've been trying to cancel this woman for time,
is what
so
I'm
she needs to
saying.
stop. She needs to stop being silly. That's very insensitive. I think so many women actually like miscarriages are so common, like so common that, and it's a hurtful thing because it can happen at different stages. Do you get what I mean? So for you to come out and be a celebrity, obviously some people look to celebrities as a way of some form of connection. So if you come out and say that you had a miscarriage, but the whole time you go on abortion, like you could have. There's still women that you will reach because of that.
If it's like a medical abortion, so it's something that was gonna have to happen, and it's no fault of anybody else's, but it was inevitable kind of thing. Ain't that kind of like a miscarriage?
No. So an abortion will
the
be.
baby's gonna go.
Yeah, but
It's not an abortion is done by choice. If it's a medical one, it's not. It's someone in the medical field has made the decision to say, okay, cool, to save you or for health reasons, you can't have this baby.
Yeah, but there's still choice there.
Yeah, and
Because-
it could be.
What do you mean? What? There's no choice there.
There
You made
is
the
choice
choice.
because sorry, Iman.
Go on.
Because so they can tell you that this is what's gonna happen, blah blah. They say to you can either have an abortion now or see how the pregnancy goes. Sometimes they might tell you, you might end up having a miscarriage. Or, you can have the abortion or whatever. Or some people didn't say, do you know what, I'm gonna stick with it. Like it's still a choice there, as opposed to a miscarriage where you literally it just happens. It's definitely a
I
difference.
don't know if I agree with that. I don't like if a professional and they're saying, and it's for health reasons, and they're telling me this is the best course of action that you need to do, kind of thing. That choice is taken from out of her hands. The whole reason why she's with these doctors is so the baby could be born or everything's all right. Like, you are directing me to do this. I don't know nothing, so that means this has to happen. As far as you are telling me, it's kind of like it's not a choice. It's kind of, she must feel the same way as someone who had a miscarriage. No,
the thing is, I'm so sorry.
No,
she must do, because at the end of the day, it's still a loss of a baby, but that's not a miscarriage. It's not a miscarriage because you like. Okay, fair enough. If you want to take I still believe in the choice thing, but for the benefit of this conversation, you don't believe in the choice thing. Fair enough. Whatever it is, the procedure that was still done is called an abortion. It is not a miscarriage. You literally are minding your business, and then that happens. It's different to you having
when you have an abortion. Abortions are usually done by choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then
so
sometimes
when you use that word, it's already given up. It's for people who don't have the information. Using that term is already misinformation, and you putting that out there and spreading that is too dangerous to me, because abortions are usually done by choice. If she never had no choice in the situation, then
yeah, but that's why though she should have just said, I had an abortion because it was medically advised. She didn't have to tell us the details. The thing is, what's mad is that no one even, because one thing I hate when no one asks you for information. Then when you give people information, you give them false information, because I didn't ask for it. I would have been fine living my life either way. Do you get what I mean? So all she had to say was, yes, and I get the way abortions are looked at and blah, blah, I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, not everybody in the world has this consensus that abortions is bad or abortions is good. So really and truly, you appeal to whoever you appeal to. If you really want to share this piece of information about your life that you really could keep private, but you want to share it, then you share the truth.
Yeah.
It's definitely different to a miscarriage, because the woman that she would have touched by saying, I was pregnant, but my child had there was this medical situation, and I had no choice but to get an abortion. There is an audience for that. That also highlights. Wait, sorry, one sec. That highlights as well why the Roe vs. Wade thing is dangerous, because there are people who are in serious, grave situations where actually, like, giving birth to a child will affect them badly. So there was an audience for that anyway.
Are they that far removed? If she's gone to a hospital appointment or something, I don't know, she's had a scan or something, they've checked her up, whatever. As far as she's concerned, she's having a baby. When she's left that hospital appointment, they have let her know, this baby's not coming. It's not going to be safe. We're going to have to give you an abortion. Yeah. When she leaves that consultation, that hospital, that doctor or something like that, and then she tells someone that she's going to have she's her saying, "Oh, I've had a miscarriage." That's not that far removed from the truth, if that makes sense.
It's very far.
Well, she can't have the baby, and someone told her that. When she walked into there, she thought she was going to be cool, and then now she can't.
Okay,
it's just as good as you telling me you lost the baby.
Do you know what helps? Do you know what helps to prove my point? Yeah, in this is that she said she had a miscarriage, right? That's what she came out and said first. The sympathy and empathy was alarming. It was great. It was so much support of her. The fact that now you think you should come back now following the Roe vs. Wade thing and say, actually, guys, I actually had an abortion, lets me know that she knew what sympathy and what attention she was going to get from saying it was a miscarriage. A miscarriage and an abortion, whether you have no choice but to do it or you choose to do it because you don't want the child, is very different to what a miscarriage is. Yes, you still lost your child. That's fair enough. But the thing is, when you're told that, you know what, there's this, there's that, you got some kind of, you can mentally prepare yourself for that. People who suffer miscarriages, there is no warning, there's no preparing, there's nothing other than you've lost your child.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are even living with their child in them, not knowing the child is dead. And then you go for a checkup and they're like, this is what's happened. We have to get into surgery ASAP to actually give birth to this child. It's very different. And I'm sorry, but she knew what she was doing when she said that.
And also, yeah, like, Marks, I don't think it's as absolute as what you're saying, because I don't think it was a case of the baby's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a case of if you have the baby, it will affect the baby's quality of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it was that one.
That's what I'm thinking it was. So it was more so a decision to be like, look, let's not continue with this pregnancy. You know what I'm saying?
She's right in doing that.
Yeah, it's up to her. But there are some people in the world who would have continued. And so that means there's a choice that you've made with your husband to be like, look, let's end it here.
Yeah.
And then you've come out and said it was a miscarriage.
She knew what she was doing. Because you know what's mad as well? She's had one before. And I think I said this when I reported it. That she's had a miscarriage before. This was not her second. This wasn't her first time having one, and that's what even made the story like even more sad for people, because it's like, oh no, like she's gone through this again kind of thing. There's something about miscarriages that is just too sad for you to claim that's what something is, because really and truly she would have had the same empathy if she came out and just said, you know what, I had to abort the baby because of this, because I was medically advised to do so. Do you get what I mean? Like people would still have shown her the same amount of love. I don't think anyone will be in her comments camping and saying, no, you're a killer or what. No one would have done that, because again, in a way it's kind of out of her hands to have done it. But I think for you to do that, and when there's women who really are going through these things, and someone like Gabrielle Union, her story is just crazy sad. Before she was able to then have a surrogate and then have her mean baby. That baby is so funny. But like, she's been through countless miscarriages. Like, miscarriage is such a different ballgame. It's still a loss of a child. It's still sad. But ma'am, she knew what she was doing, man. She does these things anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I feel like a medical miscarriage is a thing, innit? That's different. Yeah. That's like, and that's, I swear, yeah, that's like, that is an abortion, basically. If it's a medically, I don't know. I don't know all of the information, but yeah.
I mean, it's a shame, because the baby was still lost, but...
Yeah, apparently she said, I think it is actually more so what you guys were saying before about someone's life basically being in the balance. Where she said, let's just call it what it was. It was an abortion to save my life for a baby that had absolutely no chance. And to be honest, I never ever put that together until actually a few months ago. That's basically what she's saying.
All right, girl.
Yeah, I don't think that Jessie. Then she had no choice. Then I believe it's the same, a similar thing. I'm guessing she would feel the same as a woman who had a normal miscarriage, because the choice has been taken away from her. So.
I don't think so. Because I think, do you know what it is? I think with like an abortion, whether you're advised to do so or not, yeah, you can still prep your mind. Whether it's one day, whether it's a few hours, like you can still come to, like, you can just closure in that. People who just have miscarriages, they don't know why they've had them. They have to go on to do like several tests to find out why. So if you know that your child, like this is the situation with your child medically, yes, you still lost a child, but there's some form of closure in that. There's people who carry on getting pregnant and pregnant.
If you go to the doctors and they tell you, you have this child, you are going to die, and this child is not going to make it. This is a fruitless exercise. That's a miscarriage. That's what do you want me to do? Like, I don't understand. That's a miscarriage, basically. Like, I've got no control over the situation.
Yeah, this is an agree to disagree situation.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Marks, yeah, but I think she could have easily just said it was
what she said afterwards. That's different. I'm not arguing that. I don't know why she done what she done or whatever. That's cool. I'm not here to argue that. But I'm saying, like, essentially, I don't see the difference.
You're saying the end result is the same anyway.
Yeah, I don't see the difference. Like what she said, however she acted afterwards, that's on her. I can't speak for her. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I feel like they're the same things. Okay. She did have a miscarriage as far as I'm concerned. Like,
I mean, I get it, man. I guess, you know, like you rightly said, at the end of the day, it kind of amounts to the same thing. It's not like she wanted to just get rid of the child. But I think the problem that most people have, and I think this is what Esther's saying as well, is that she lied. She knew what she was doing. It was calculated. You know what I mean? Yeah. To basically say, listen, guys, I had a miscarriage. And, you know, she wanted sympathy. And then now that this whole thing about Roe versus Wade has come out, about this abortion thing, you're now telling the people it was an abortion. It just seems like it's just another PR opportunity to get sympathy from people. And
to be honest, anyway, this is why I think we overshare on the internet, because really and truly, sorry, but no one needs to know your private business. Respectfully.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the Chrissy Tegan show.
All right. All right. Let's get into the People's Journal.
Journal people. This might be the shortest People's Journal ever, because there wasn't much news. Everything basically just would be me reiterating what I said last week. The only thing that's kind of changed is that the pound continues to go down, and the stock market as well has kind of gone down as well. So the FTSE 100, which is basically the top 100 companies in the UK, slid 0.3%. down to 7,258 points, down from 7,550, which was in August. Also, European exchanges also went down. The German DAX went down 1.7%. and basically opening trading of Wall Street also basically kind of just went down as well because of some basically a warning overnight, which affected what happened in the morning. Some news from the FedEx company, and obviously FedEx is a huge company in America, so that's basically affected the whole S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in America. Like I just mentioned, because of all these type of things, it's kind of trickling into different industries as well. Germany have announced what I pretty much said last week about the UK, which is that it's looking like a recession is around the corner. So people were talking about how toilet paper now, for example, was the second most sought after supermarket item during the height of the pandemic. Pasta was first, and that type of thing is basically coming back again. I think I mentioned, last week as well about how Asda, they're trying to make things better for, the average person with their budget line. But because of the demand, everybody obviously can't afford the more expensive brands. The demand has just been crazy. And so they're limiting how much you can buy of any particular budget line item. So basically they're saying whatever it is, it's 3 items at the most per person that comes in. So that's affecting the UK and everything. And pretty much the last thing is to do with state pensions. I mentioned before about how as much as the government was trying to get everybody, let me not say trying to get everybody, but basically people were protesting and striking to get their wages to kind of line up with inflation. That wasn't necessarily possible. I think it was NHS, the police and everything kind of got between a range of like 4 and 5%. But what they did try to do was try and make sure that the state pension was on track to rise with inflation. And it's basically looking like it's basically going to happen. Like Liz Truss is going to follow through. So like I said the other day as well, inflation was down from 10.1% to 9.9%. And it's looking like in October, I believe, they're going to make that possible, basically, with the whole state pension thing. So basically, it's looking like it's on course to top £10,000 a year, basically, with the government basically reinstating. I keep saying basically, but reinstating the whole annual increase that they kind of promised before. So I'll probably need a bit more information on that, which will probably come about probably in the next few days, by the end of the week, about the whole how it's going to affect state pension and everything. But even though it seems like it's just a little increase in terms of like 2 percentage points, it does kind of add up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, trying to do something, man. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. Well, let's get into the rotation.
Weekly music breakdown. I won't lie, not much caught my eye over this weekend. I think it was a slow release week. Yeah, there wasn't much, so I've kind of like remixed the segment a bit. So follow me on this journey. All right, so we'll start with Wizkid. All right, so Wizkid has released his first single since the last single from Made in Lagos, which was Mood. All right. And obviously he's done a bunch of features as well, but this is his first solo single since obviously the Made in Lagos rollout. Esther, have you heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Bad to Me. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would classify this as like an Afrobeats fused with Amapiano.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. My ear wasn't lying. So when I saw the release, I thought, okay, cool. Wizkid is coming back out. Is their album coming? Is it just a single? So we'll see. There's no announcement of an album yet, so it's just a song. Up tempo, dance ready, good vocals, decent production as always. I do like that he's venturing into Amapiano a bit because it is the new wave. So it's interesting to hear what Wiz's interpretation or his take on Amapiano is. But this does sound like he's kind of picking up where he left off with Made in Lagos. It's still giving me Made in Lagos vibes. Like I can actually imagine this on the album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this kind of like his new sound now? Like the more mellow, mid-tempo kind of vibe. That's what it's giving me. I would say it doesn't really. It's a good song, but I wouldn't say it's something that I'm gonna play repetitively. It doesn't really captivate me like that. You know what I mean? It's a decent song, but it's more like a one-off listen, right? So it made me think. Yeah, I've got a question for the room. One, do you feel like Essence is kind of like his peak? Like he's peaked now. Obviously, he can still ascend. I'm not saying that, but do you feel like Essence is like a badge of honor for him now? Like he's reached a certain level, and do you think he'll ever top Essence in terms of the impact it's made in it globally? Obviously, we've got our own Wizkid song that we love from back in the day, but we've never seen Wizkid on this global scale before, innit? Like this album, Made in Lagos, propelled him to a new level of stardom, innit? And Essence is definitely his biggest hit worldwide, right? Do we feel like he's ever going to be able to top it?
I don't know why I was thinking of the gym, yeah. But you know, like how like they always tell you when you first go to the gym, you get the newbie gains, innit?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it kind of slows down.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So even though like after 10 years, you'll be, you know, more toned, more muscular and everything.
Yeah.
But the I guess the rate,
Yeah.
right, isn't as much as it was when you first started.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the situation. I think because of Essence,
Yeah.
now Afrobeats is everywhere.
Yeah.
So another hit may not have the same impact as Essence.
Of course.
But I think he can make a better song.
You think he'd make a better song?
Yeah, I believe so.
So what about you? You think he can make a better song? Like you're going to hear a song. Obviously, music is subjective, isn't it? But
Yeah.
because for some people, Essence isn't even the best song on the album. Some people say that it's True Love for them. Some people say
True Love is
for
there.
them it's Ginger.
Yeah.
To me, it's like Essence is undisputed in my eyes. I couldn't even imagine how you'd think another song is better. But obviously, music is subjective, isn't it? Some people are like, nah, True Love is the one for me. Cool. Do you feel like he can be Essence?
I think he can.
Yeah.
Because I think Essence is a great song, but for me, that wasn't like the best.
Okay, for you, it wasn't the best song.
Nah, I think,
Okay.
it wasn't. I got it. I liked the hype that it got. 'Cause I think it opened stupid amount of doors.
Yeah.
But I think he can top that. But to be fair though, my thing with Wizkid though, I'm not like it's taking me a while to get into this new sound of Afrobeats. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's taking me a while to get used to it. So with Wizkid, like my favorite Wizkid song ever is not even. It's from like the old Wizkid
old
days.
school.
Do you get what I mean? Like in my mind, if this is the sound he's going with, these albums are not in. Well, they're not in my rotation. Do you get what I mean? Like the older Wizkid, the proper Afro beats, that is more me. When we start doing this whole Afro R&B, Afro fusion, Afro, is great for what it does.
Yeah.
But in terms of my personal taste, what I'm gonna reach for,
Yeah.
when I think of Wizkid projects, I don't reach for Made in Lagos
Okay.
at all.
I hear that.
So I
So
think
regardless
he
of
could
what
beat
you
it.
think of his other stuff, you think obviously you have to take like impact and reach and all this kind of stuff into consideration, whether it's your favorite song or not.
Yeah.
You think he can? Well, obviously he can because he's an artist, but that would be really. It's going to be really hard for him to top Essence.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Like,
I
it's
don't
going to be
think so,
damn near
you know.
impossible to top Essence.
I personally feel like, I think I'm with Marks. I don't think he's going to make a song better. And did you see Kanye West post? the other day?
Oh yeah, Essence is the best song.
So he said best song in the history of music to date. Obviously, he's being frivolous with the statement, but for him to say that means something.
Do you know what it is?
No, well, at that time, it was like the best song in the world. Like bar none, like bar anything. Like,
but no, he's saying the best song in history. Obviously, that's
it's one of the best songs that's ever been produced,
ever been made,
ever been created, ever.
Yeah.
You know what? I agree with you. You know, I know sometimes like when something hasn't stood the test of time yet, you can't make that statement. But I can honestly say that I think this is one of the best songs I've heard. Honestly.
Yeah, like bar none, like,
the song
genre,
just,
anything. This is one of the best songs in life. And that's the reason why. It's not because of anything to do with his talents, but that's the reason why I feel like that's definitely his pinnacle. Like with his legacy, when it's all said and done, Essence is going to be it. Because if it's not, bloody hell, this guy's in for some greatness, isn't it?
I hope he releases something better than Essence. I'm praying for that.
I think he can. I think also because he's like reached a new height now.
Yeah.
I think that Wizkid has now become one of those people where everything he does is gold. Like, I don't think people are ever going to... I don't see... The way people love Wizkid, as in worldwide, I don't see him releasing something and people actually criticizing it. For me, I see him as like kind of the African Drake, where anything he does now, even if it's silence, people are going to be like, that is the best thing
You think
ever.
so?
Yeah, I think he's at that point now.
But Drake still has his critics,
what I
though.
was gonna
He
say,
still does,
yeah.
but he sells out tours. Like the majority.
Yeah.
Because when you say that you don't like a Drake project, people are like, oh, you're trying to be different. This time you really don't like it. But I think with Wizkid now, that is kind of the point he's gonna get.
Can I
And I
ask a
think
question? It's a great conversation that you guys are having. Yusuf, when was Nas's peak?
Illmatic.
The funny thing is, some people might say it was Illmatic because that was his best ever album. I don't agree. I think his peak was probably Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, Godson. That 3-album run was his peak to me.
And the best ever song that he's ever
I'm honest,
created.
Best ever song ever created. Oof.
It's tough.
That's tough, bro. I'll be honest. I can't.
Would it be in Illmatic?
Some people may say so.
What about you?
No. My favorite Nas song isn't on Illmatic. One of my favorite songs is on Illmatic, but no.
Not your favorite song,
Yeah.
the best ever song.
In terms of worldwide impact? Or just
100%. Because this is what we're talking about with Essence, right?
Yeah. In terms of worldwide impacts, maybe If I Rule the World with Lauryn Hill might be what the world might look at as one of Nas's biggest songs. The song that people sing along to, the song he might play last at a concert, the one that's most recognizable.
Worldwide impact, impacts, because what's probably one of the biggest things from his career? It might be of Stillmatic. It might be Ether.
Yeah, Ether.
It might be Ether.
Yeah.
It might be Ether.
But because of what it's about, he don't perform Ether. It's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I only ask that because I think for each artist, they would love to have a moment in their career where they can have a track that just extends through time.
Yeah.
Like Immortal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Immortal.
Yeah.
And for Wizkid to still be young enough to still make more music
Yeah.
and to have reached the peak where Marx is saying it is the best track ever. Kanye West to say what he said,
Yeah.
he can die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because many artists don't even reach that particular accolade.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic that,
He's reached it.
we're now saying, can he make a better one?
Yeah.
And he might be like, oh, it's a good challenge, but I don't need to now.
Yeah.
MJ's biggest track for you isn't the one he created on the last album he ever released, right?
No.
This is what I'm saying. But yet he's remembered like forever.
Yeah.
I just find it's a fascinating concept to make a track that cuts through the entire world for it to stand next to other titans and still you have time left to basically try to better it.
Yeah.
It's wavy, man.
Yeah, nice, baby. I think every artist probably has that peak. I mean, when they're at the top of the mountain, and then because for example, Drake, I think Drake reached his peak.
Serious?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. I think.
You say Drake might not never make another song that's better than his best song.
I think the last best album Drake made was Nothing.
No,
Was the Same.
no. You know what? I still think Drake can make better songs than what he's made. To be fair, 'cause I don't feel like Drake even has an undisputed, unrivaled classic album where it's unanimous that this is the one.
Yes,
I know.
it is.
Yeah.
What?
This is Take Care.
I hear
What, the
you
classic?
because I think that's his best album, but there's people who say otherwise.
Nah, man. I mean,
I think
I don't know.
It's nothing
Anybody
but
else said
no.
anything-
Personally, for me, Take Care is my favorite Drake album, right? But I've had
It's a classic
with
album,
people
bro.
that-
Have you listened to it? It's a
No,
classic
I'm
album.
I'm not-
From cover to cover.
I think there's too many fillers on it.
From cover to cover.
cover to cover.
See Marx's face.
If we're to say what's Drake's classic, is Take Care, right? But there is an argument that he hasn't released a classic album. But if we have to pick one out of the bunch, okay, let's go with this one. But in totality, is it a classic?
I'll be honest.
Or is it a classic amongst his catalogue?
If that man has not released a classic album yet, you need to forget about it. It's not coming. If you don't think he's released a classic already,
And
forget
I'm
about
with you.
it.
I think Drake can release songs that
Yeah.
will top his previous song for sure. But I don't feel like Drake's career. I feel like he's reached the heights. I think he's where he is where he is.
Well, listen,
That's it.
Drake is a victim of his own success, and he's got too many like he's got too much good music basically, and I think you got
Too
taken
much.
for granted. You know what I'm trying to say?
Too
Because
much.
for man to say Take Care's got filler on it, yeah, and that's got that's got headlines on
Hold
it.
on.
Marvin's Room. It's got Take Care, Crew Love, Shot for Me, Over My Dead Body, Lord Knows, Doing It
That's
Wrong,
a good
The
album.
Real Her.
No, the
Look
album's-
What
the
You've
album's
done. Fucking hell yeah, fucking right. Practice, The Ride, The Motto. Yo, man is
Nah, the man
crazy.
was
bro.
a-
Yeah, but
was a reset.
remember, there's like 20 tracks on there.
brother.
Yeah.
There's 19 songs here, and 18 of them are cold, bro. Like what? This is mad. That's why opinions are a crazy thing, but that is definitely a classic album. And anybody who thinks otherwise, I
Mark
think
says
their
why
opinions
you should not be allowed
invaluable.
opinions.
I mean, it's not valuable.
Yeah,
It's not worth anything.
no. Take Care is Drake's best album for me. It always has been.
Do you think he was okay? Do you think he was at his peak as a rapper on Take Care?
No, maybe not.
No, I don't
Because
think
he's
so.
got better.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll forget like whole albums and projects or whatever. And I'm not even sure what his best song is. But whatever it is to the individual in their mind, I don't know if he's gonna make a better song than what his best song is now.
What's his best song to you? I
I
know it's hard because he has so many songs, but
Yeah.
what's your favorite?
Shit. I don't know. I'd need time to dissect that. I'm a Drake fan. I think this guy's cold.
Yeah.
You get me? So I wouldn't even. Yeah, I'd have to actually like take some time out. That's like homework for me because he's got too many good songs. I don't understand how he makes so many good songs. Nobody's got more good songs than Drake. Like his catalog is the best catalog that's ever been seen.
Yeah. No, his catalog's cold still. Catalog's cold. All right, cool. Brendan, this is when you put the Usher thing for me, right? So Usher, it's the 25th anniversary of My Way. Yeah, his second album. People think it's his debut album, but it was his second album.
Yeah, second.
The one that was entirely produced by Jermaine Dupri. I want to talk about it because he redone the album cover and it's irking me a bit. It's on the screen right now.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, man. That I don't know. The cover's pissing me off. I think it's the way he's biting his lip. And it's just basically it's like an old version of a young cover, innit? It's just making me laugh anyway. But
First of all, yeah.
Is
this so the screen is on at the moment? That's the new version, isn't it?
Yeah.
That man, his skin is just amazing because he looks.
Yeah, he looks
He
young.
hasn't aged.
Yeah,
Like,
he hasn't aged.
He looks like this is the original cover.
Yeah. And obviously he tried to mimic it in this perfect way. So from
think it's
what he's
perfect.
wearing to the stance to
I
everything.
love it.
The goggles, the whole thing is just a remake of the original, but I just find it funny. You know what he's giving me? He's giving me, you know how Genuine's out here on this like old man tour?
No, he's not giving me genuine. That's very insulting. That is so insulting. That is so. I can't believe you even said that.
And his nipples, the way his nipples are popping through the top as well, it just looks funny to me. Anyway, shout out to Usher. So quickly, just memories of the album. I remember my sister actually bought the album on CD back in the day when it first came out, innit? So that's one of the first like CDs I kind of had in my household, innit? So we used to bang that album all the time. But I wanted to ask you lot, just as a broader conversation, what your favorite Usher songs are.
Ooh.
Oh, I love Burn.
Of Burn. I used to hate Burn.
I
It
love
grew on me a
Burn.
little bit, but I just think it was corny as hell.
I love Burn so much.
Marcus is a big R&B man. What's your favorite Usher song?
My favorite Usher joint.
Yeah. And as we're on the conversations about peaks, when do you think Usher peaked?
Usher ain't peaks, man. Usher's different.
He's different, but in terms of his like stardom and stuff, I reckon Confessions.
Yeah, Confessions.
Yeah, well, it would be Confessions.
Confessions was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Confessions
Confessions was his thriller.
Yes.
I like Can You Handle It in them tune there.
Yeah, cold.
Big song. Usher's again, he's like one of the kings of R&B, so
Yeah.
you can't just be talking about Usher shit willy nilly like that. I don't know what his favorite joints are. He's got too many cold joints. He's cold.
Too many.
You remind
This
me
is your
it was-
third.
it was hard as
This is
well.
your third strike, Marks.
Of what? Of not being able to name songs.
Mariah, I can't say I need homework. Drake,
I'm
I need homework. Usher, I need homework.
I'm a music fan. When people ask me what's your favorite song, how can I tell you what my favorite song? You know how many
Right,
songs
not
I've got
song,
up here,
singular,
my Rolodex?
songs.
Thousands, hundreds and hundreds that I like equally. I'd have to
Yeah.
actually think about them because I like music differently. You get me? I can't just on a whim say, oh yeah, that. And then plus my favorite songs and stuff will change from time to time. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'll go through periods of time when I'm enjoying this song more than that one. It's something that I have to proper think about if you want a legit answer.
I hear you. I'll throw out some of mine. Throwback from Confessions, Lifetime, which is like an album cut off of one of his less popular albums called Here I Stand. You Don't Have to Call Up,
Oh, that's a tune.
Bad Girl, like, you know what I mean?
You know, I like slow jams.
That's the one.
I love
Slow
Slow
Jam,
Jam.
yeah, that's off
With
Slow Jams
Monica,
is cold.
My Way. That's
Yeah.
off My Way.
You know,
Yeah.
so funny though, because basically, so he did the song with Monica, right? And she was like, "Oh, we should do another song," and he was like, "No, thank you."
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? That's kind of rude.
He just said no, because she talked about it during the verses with Brandy. And so Brandy said she would go back and talk to him about it.
It's slow jams with Monica. That's the one with Monica.
Yeah.
Classic.
He hasn't allowed her another song since.
Yeah, that album reminds me of my household because my sister used to bang that album.
I love that song.
When I was a kid.
Let It Burn's cold for real, innit? I just clocked when you said that. It is actually a sick tune.
That is a tune. It was awkward when he got herpes.
It was what?
When these women came out and said that Usher gave them herpes.
The big one.
Yeah, and then the whole Let It Burn thing was just hilarious to people.
Damn it,
We
man.
love a meme.
Damn it, man.
What about You Don't Have to Call though? That one's lit.
That is a tune.
I mentioned that. I just mentioned it.
That is a tune.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, You Don't Have to Call. You Don't Have to Call is
It's okay.
certified
Girl.
one still.
Sorry, that's a rude song. Nah, if a guy ever said that to me.
Well, that's
you know what's mad?
that's the post breakup I'm going out anthem.
Do you know what's mad? So for many years, I thought that was a romantic song.
No.
Like, so basically, I thought, he meant, you don't have to call me, I'll be right there. So in my mind, like,
Real
she's
funny.
going out to the club and he's just like, you don't have to, like, I'm right there. But when I deep it,
No,
you don't have to call
me. It's okay, girl, because I'm
I'll
gonna be alright tonight.
oh my gosh.
Without
your
your ass.
That's so rude.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't understand why you was like. I don't understand how come from the beginning, from before you even started singing, you didn't understand what kind of energy was on that rhythm.
I didn't want to. It was
he said, "Don't leave your girl around me."
True player for
True
real.
player for real.
Yeah, but you know,
That's my nigga for real.
Do you know what's funny? I repeat that every time, but it's not what I want to hear, so it didn't register. Yeah, I think this definitely made me realize I hear what I want to hear.
You know what's bad about songs, especially R&B? Yeah? You know when you're younger and you listen to all the R&B music, or what, you're not really taking in the lyrics. You don't relate to it, innit? When you're older, shit just hits differently, fam. You're like,
Right, especially the old R&B.
fam, you're like, this nigga's talking about me.
You gotta put an age cap on R&B and all that. Because Joe and them, man, they had me singing about eating pussy from I was like 9. I didn't know what I was
wild.
singing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was talking about.
Joe is out here auditioning for a girl who's already got a man.
Joe is,
I'll do all the things your man can't do.
Joe is the biggest dirty macker in the history of R&B.
He's ridiculous.
Sick. His whole MO is about dirty macking. About taking the next man's girl.
Yeah, like
that's true, you know.
you hear them fighting, then you're going to knock on the move, man. What's your problem?
That's his whole brand of R&B. He's sick.
Joe is a joker, man.
He's a sick guy. All right, lastly, I just got a recommendation. It's a new artist that I kind of stumbled across randomly on YouTube. His name's Sway Vay.
Okay.
All right, he's got a song out called Faces, which is like a smooth, mid-tempo, chilled, alternative R&B type of vibe. If I had to like categorize him, I'd say he's more like emo rap, but he kind of reminds me of like Childish Major, if you know who that is. Lucky Day kind of vibes, Corday kind of vibes.
Okay.
Maybe like a Childish Gambino type of guy as well. He's actually signed to Def Jam, but prior to this single, I checked out his catalogue and everything's independent. So I think he just got signed, and this is his first release on the Def Jam. The song's called Faces. It's quite cool. I like it. I've been bumping it all weekend. So yeah, check it out. Recommendation for the week is Sway Vay, new single, Faces, if you like that emo alternative hip hop. And that's it. That's the rotation for this week. I'll be back next week.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Should get into our last headlines for the day.
Headline takes us to the Russia-Ukraine war, right? So the European Union presidency has called for an international tribunal over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The call from the Czech Republic, which currently holds the rotating presidency of the bloc, came after the discovery of hundreds of graves in Izium, which is a town recently liberated by Ukrainian troops. Many are said to be civilians, women and children are among them. So Ukraine says it believes war crimes have been committed in Izium, where 59 bodies have been exhumed so far, with more expected from the graves in a forest at the edge of the city. Czech Republic's Foreign Minister Jan Lipavsky said in the 21st century, such attacks against civilian population are unthinkable and abhorrent. We must not overlook it. We stand for the punishment of all war criminals. I call for the speedy establishment of a special international tribunal that will prosecute the crime of aggression. In his regular address on Saturday evening, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said investigators had discovered new evidence of torture used against the people buried in Izium. He said more than 10 torture chambers have already been found in the liberated areas of the Kharkiv region in various cities and towns, adding that the Russians would have to answer both on the battlefield and in courtrooms. On Thursday, the EU Commission President-Chief Ursula von der Leyen said she wanted Mr. Putin to face the International Criminal Court over war crimes in Ukraine. Russia claims it is fighting to denazify Ukraine in a conflict it still refers to as a special military operation rather than a war. It has not commented on the burial sites at Izium, although Moscow has previously denied targeting civilians. The next headline takes us to the east in Japan, and basically there's been a crazy storm, and 9 million people have been told to evacuate their homes as Japan is battered by one of the worst typhoons the country has ever seen. The super typhoon Nanmadol has killed 2 people and injured almost 90. It hit Kyushu, the southernmost of Japan's 4 main islands, on Sunday morning, and is set to reach Honshu, which is the largest island, in the next coming days. Tens of thousands of people spent Sunday night in emergency shelters, and almost 350,000 homes are without power. Transport and business has been disrupted, and the country is braced for extensive flooding and landslides. Nanmadol has brought gusts of up to 145 miles per hour, and some areas were forecast to have up to 400 millimeters, which is 16 inches of rain in 24 hours. Bullet train services, ferries, and hundreds of flights have been cancelled. Many shops and other businesses have closed, and sandbags have been put in place to protect some properties. The storm is forecast to turn east and pass over Japan's main island of Honshu before moving out to sea by Wednesday. The capital, Tokyo, has experienced heavy rain, with the Tozai underground line suspended because of flooding. A level 5 alert, which is the highest on Japan's disaster warning scale, has been issued for more than 500,000 people in Kagoshima, Miyazaki, Oita, Kumamoto, and Yamaguchi areas. And the last headline is sports, which is what we touched on last Friday in the boxing with Canelo and Triple G. So, Saul Canelo Alvarez has beaten Gennady Golovkin. He dominated over 12 rounds to retain his undisputed super middleweight crown. It was the third encounter in Las Vegas between the modern-day greats, with Alvarez claiming a second win following a controversial draw in the first fight. After sidestepping a kickback from Golovkin in the later rounds, all 3 judges were in agreement, scoring it 116-12, 115-113, and 115-113 for Alvarez. Canelo said after the fight, "Thank you, my friend. We gave the fans 3 great fights." They shared a warm embrace after the fight, despite their rivalry turning sour in the 4-year wait for the trilogy encounter, which saw Alvarez retain the IBF, WBA Super, WBO, and WBC titles. Golovkin said afterwards, "I want to shake hands with Canelo. Congrats to all his team. He's a real warrior. If you don't understand that, you don't understand nothing." And that was the end of the headlines.
Can I get my flowers? Yeah, I called it, yeah?
Yep.
Come on, man. The real oracle back in effect.
I said the real oracle.
I think it was too much for Triple G, man, I think. Because even Triple G had to move up. I didn't even know he had to move up in weight to fight him. So, yeah. And he's older as well. He's like 40-something now. Early 40s. But yeah, it was a sick fight, though. It was good.
Nice.
At what age do you retire from fighting?
Boy, it depends.
Depends on you.
Depends on your ability and stuff.
How old is Floyd?
Floyd, we can check it. Let's check.
So the greater feat, wasn't it Triple G with his age and lasting that long, with it being so close?
No, he lost. Stop it.
But to be fair, I think the scorecards are closer than it really was.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a lot more one-sided than that, to be honest with you. Yeah. And again, Triple G's moved up in weight, like to 167. He's really a 160 middleweight fighter.
Ah, so he even had to basically adjust.
Mhm.
Interesting.
He had to go up, and he's 40, maybe 1 or 2 now.
Mm.
Canelo's 35, maybe. So, yeah.
Oh, that means he. When did Floyd retire then? Because Floyd's 45 now. He must have retired in his late 30s then, because he's been retired for quite a while now.
Yeah, I think Floyd maybe retired about 40.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
About 5 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Esther, Tory Lanez is shorter than Lil Uzi Vert.
How old is Lil Uzi? Because Lil Uzi Vert is a compact babe.
I just saw. So he must be. Tory Lanez is really small.
He's very small.
What
Lil
about Lil
Uzi is
Wayne?
small.
Lil Uzi is really, really small.
But Lil Wayne is not. Lil Wayne is small, but
Ain't you seen Tory on when he's performing and he's climbing on the stage and climbing on all the walls and all that?
Yeah.
exactly. Only a little man can do that. Anyway.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
yeah,
hear you. We're just.
This
What's
is.
going on? Can you hear us?
Cause a question. This is just a.
I've nothing done that shit, man.
You know how the way. You know how women or just men, people just take the piss out of short
These
people.
people
Innit?
should.
It's accepted. Like, for example, you can clown a short man. It's like,
I feel like I know
it's
where you're
tickles.
going with this. Yeah.
Is there anything that we can do? Not that I want to, but is there what's the equivalent? Something a man can say about a woman that's going to be taken in jest.
I feel like there's a lot of things guys clown women for
That we can say openly.
Yeah,
that they do say openly.
and that we won't get backlash for.
Yeah.
No, but I think guys do clown. They clown in makeup a lot.
Okay, makeup is one. You think?
Makeup is one. Hair is one.
Okay.
Guys do make fat jokes.
Yeah, they do, but they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things we're allowed to do. People still do.
No, but I mean, in
Without
the same way, we're just laughing along with you about the short thing, and
Yeah.
it's not being taken seriously. That's what I mean.
I don't know actually. I feel like there's a lot that guys make fun of women for. Yeah, and they exaggerate about women. Yeah, I think there's a lot. But yeah, the short one is it's just is what it is, isn't it?
Said no.
I'm not making fun of anybody. I just think you're short, aren't you?
It's body shaming. So
Is it body shaming?
What?
Yeah, it has to
it
be.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
That's interesting.
Wait, you don't think being short is a part of your body?
It's a part of your body, but I just think, I'm not shaming. I'm just stating a fact. I was reporting the news, and part of that was that he was short.
Yeah, but you make jokes about people that are short. Yeah, you buy into stereotypes about people that are short. They have
What's the
negative
stereotype?
connotations. You talk about man's aggressive. You say man's aggressive.
What,
this,
short man
that, and
syndrome? That's not a stereotype because I've experienced that.
It's a stereotype.
No, it's not. I've experienced.
But not
It's
all
a
of them.
stereotype.
No, it's a
but
stereotype because
it's a stereotype that's
angry
been
black
proven-
woman is a stereotype.
No, but it's a stereotype that's been proven right to me. So in my mind, my personal life, it's not a stereotype because.
So all someone
coincidentally,
needs is a one black woman to them to be angry towards them, and then it's not a stereotype. It's just right then.
That's their business. That's for them to do. They want to do that. But I've experienced short men, and I've experienced angry short men. So in my mind, this was a stereotype. I didn't know. I thought, okay, maybe it's just a rumor. And then the short men I've come in contact with have had this syndrome that I heard about.
Have you experienced angry tall men?
Yeah, absolutely. They're equally as aggressive, but it's just there's no really tall man syndrome, is there?
But if you meet 10 tall men who
Yeah.
are aggressive
Yeah.
and 10 short men who are aggressive,
Yeah.
why did they get their label?
They don't because I think guys who are tall and like big, they like to assert their body weight and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's also that idea that when a guy's tall or whatever, he likes to let you know he's in the room. There is that too. They tend to be arrogant.
Okay, also there is a tall man syndrome.
Yeah,
as well.
they tend to be arrogant. They like to let you. Their presence has to be known in every room they walk into, and they try and do the big boys and blah blah.
Hey,
So-
what are you talking about?
so
I'm
guys
6'3". Every room I walk into, you see me. What's that got to do with me?
Yeah, but some guys that are tall be extra loud, and you've got nothing to be loud about. You can be quiet.
Okay, so what the average height done? So they just lost in the sauce here in the mix.
Those ones,
Like what's the average height?
like a 5'7",
5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
I
5'7"?
respect her commitment to the role, because she ain't breaking.
I'm not breaking. I'm not. I know.
No. I ain't trying to.
I know what I'm saying.
Pick a hole. I'm not trying to pick a hole. I'm trying to make conversation. I'm not
I
trying to
know
catch you out.
No, I know. Mark's was trying to catch me out, but I know what I'm saying.
So-
So what I said.
5'8", 5'7".
They tend to be cool.
Yeah.
They tend to be cool, but I don't know. There's also some weird personality trait about those ones too.
Like what? What is it?
Because they're not the tallest in the room
Or the shortest?
or the shortest, so they kind of feel like I've got one up from the short guys.
But then these niggas have got me over here.
Exactly. So then, when they're in a room,
Yeah.
you see them kind of they're bossing up on the short guys. But then because they know they're not on the same level as the tall guys, they try and show like you can't sun me even though you're taller than me.
So who's the worst out of the bunch then? In your experience? Because to me it sounds like the ones in the middle are the worst.
He's the ones in the middle. I would say that.
Because they're picking on someone.
Yeah.
But at the same time they're getting buoyed by someone. It's like, big man, make up your mind.
Yep. No, honestly, speak aside, I think the ones in the middle are the worst. Because at least with short men, you know what you're getting.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You know what you're getting. It is that. And I think some guys that are short as well, they have they're insecure about their height,
Yeah.
which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think the middle guys are the worst, I would say.
Okay.
Because it's just like, pick a struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that? Allegedly?
These are all tested and tried by me. And
Tried and tested theories.
yeah.
I hear
That's
that.
just funny, man.
All right. Let's get into dinner here. A lot over there with technology today.
No, we're all right. We're all right. Today's done at hair. You know when people are just too airs-hard? Do you know what airs-hard is?
Mm-mm.
It means someone's hard of hearing. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
ears.
Yeah.
Ears hard.
Oh, it is
No,
hard.
it's-
Oh,
The ears didn't come out the way you thought it came out.
No, that's how I come out. I'm from the Caribbean.
Oh.
No way so.
Sorry.
just so funny. I was gonna say.
General. My general.
I was actually gonna say it came out Caribbean, but I've said enough today. I don't know whether.
That's how I said. That's
Oh,
how
okay,
I said.
lovely.
You get what I'm trying to say? Anyway, like, yeah. So you know what it is, yeah? I'm a firm believer of just like, I don't know, man. There's certain sayings that have come up in my household that I've been there for a long time, like, who don't hear will feel, and stuff like that. So, like, if I give you some advice, I tell you not to do something, I try and advise you on something, but you don't want to take my advice, you don't want to listen, yeah? I'm only going to give it to you one time. I'm going to let you go and do whatever you want. You know what I'm trying to say? And whatever results come from it, that happens. I'm a I told you so kind of man. Another saying that sticks with me, what my nan always used to say, if the sick don't care, the doctor can't care. Yeah? You know what that means? Like, you can't care for other people trying to help them to do something. If they want to self-destruct, you just have to let them. If the sick don't care, the doctor cannot care. And that is perfect for what I am looking at today, because Jason Holton, yeah, is Britain's fattest man. Sorry.
I
Can you
thought
hear
you were
me?
pausing for effect. You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, no, because my Siri came in my ears and it messed me up. Sorry. Yeah, so Jason Holton is Britain's fattest man. He is 32 and he weighs 47 stones, yeah? But he is complaining, yeah, that his human rights are being taken away from him. They're being infringed upon because doctors are putting calorie-controlled diets to save this guy's life. Now, this man is huge, like big. And he was nearly out of it the other day. He nearly died. They had to take him out of his yard with a crane. Yeah. And I've seen this man, yeah. I'm nearly sure he's gonna need that crane to get to heaven.
Okay. Time out.
I'm just saying.
Said Jesus' ascension and cover that body size.
There was a whole ordeal to get him out of the yard. I think it took 7 hours.
That's wild.
30 firemen, a whole crane. This was just a whole operation to get this man out of the yard into a special built ambulance and thing, reinforced with is it Valerian steel or something like this? Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, went to the hospital. Yeah, he nearly dead. Yeah, and then now he's upset. He's telling them he's gonna call the police on them because they took his drink away from him. Like, he's drinking too many liters of fizzy juice a day. Wait, one second. Let me give you a little rundown of my man's 10,000 a day daily calorie intake. What he's doing.
10,000.
So in the morning, yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, see, in the morning for breakfast, Donny's doing large doner kebab, yeah, and chips.
Are they even open in the morning?
I don't know. He must take it from the night before and save it. Or something. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. So he's doing large doner kebab and chips, yeah. And then Pop-Tarts, yeah. It doesn't say how many Pop-Tarts, but I'm guessing it's a lot of Pop-Tarts.
I used to bang Pop-Tarts when I was younger.
Yeah, that's his breakfast, yeah. And then in the afternoon, he has 3 large tubs of chicken chow mein. Now, I've never even heard chicken chow mein referred to as tubs. It sounds like it's giving ice cream. I don't even know. I don't know. But Donny has 3 large tubs of chicken chow mein, yeah. Then he has prawn crackers. Then he has prawn toast as well. Then he has more Pop-Tarts because he missed those bad boys from the morning. Yeah. And then in the evening, he's having 2 cheese sandwiches, 2 chocolate bars, 3 packets of crisps, and 1.5 liters of OJ. Now, obviously, you've got to be healthy. OJ is good for you. And 5 cans of Diet Coke as well. And not normal Coke, Diet Coke.
And that's what I like, Diet Coke. Watch your figure.
You might know he's an animal, right? Because he's eating the prawn crackers. Nobody eats the prawn crackers. You get with Chinese. Like, he's taking it too far.
When you're starving, you might can pick at them a little bit, but they're
It's not part of the main meal.
Nah, those get dashed in the bin for me every time.
That is so funny.
Yeah, but look, they've been trying to sort out his diet. Like he was literally out of it. He nearly checked out the building. Yeah, they saved him. They patted him up, and now they're trying to think. He wants his drink. He's saying, "I've got my human rights. I should be able to drink what I want." He's gonna call the police because he's saying, basically, I'm constantly dehydrated, and these are trying to get me out of there. You get me? And I just think he's a fucking idiot. But my thing is, what I wanted to say is like, if the sick don't care, the doctor can't care. These people got to leave him alone, you know. Yeah. It's the NHS paying for all this stuff, you know.
Exactly.
It's us.
Yeah.
It's the taxpayers' money paying for all this crap. This guy is on £398 a week employment support allowance and £451 personal independence payment. You get me? And he also gets £550 contributing towards his £621 rent. This guy's racking up a lot of dough that you are paying for.
Sorry, I've just seen the picture of the crane when they're trying to get him out of the house.
Let me see.
Yeah, I saw it on this article.
It's a special crane, reinforced. They told Donnie, yeah.
That's him in the air. Must have been scared.
I'm happy to know that you can eat this much food and still be alive though. So
I'm not. My heart will give way. Sometimes when I eat, I'm just like, whoo, I cannot breathe. That my heart would not be able to deal with
this
that.
is showing me that I'm not pushing my limits.
Listen, you don't test your body the way you ought to.
I think someone should tell him that he's Britain's fattest man because I think that might hit different.
No, he's gonna
like,
be. He's gonna look at them like, where's the prize with my food prize? He don't want money prize. That's an accomplishment for him.
47.
Well, he's not gonna stop eating and drinking. He's gonna be out of it soon, man. It is a sad story, to be honest with you, but I think they gotta let him go and just let him do what he wants because cut off his benefits and just let him do what he wants, man. Because this is just stupid. They're trying to save your life and you're talking about human rights. You lost your mind.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
he must stink.
He must.
He definitely stinks.
So they paid for like a special toilet. He's got a reinforced toilet in his yard with like a bidet in that, so he don't even have to wipe his own bum. And the government pays for that. The council pays for that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Ew.
I'm not one of these people that like talk about our council and taxes, but I mean, my money's got to go somewhere better than this, man.
Can he even reach his bum?
No, well, he can't. That's why he's got the bidet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if he cared, and he wanted to better himself, that's different. Let's support all the people we can.
Yeah.
But you're talking about man infringing on your human rights. You're still trying to drink Coca-Cola and that. Yeah, this guy's worried about all the wrong things. Fat man, you are done out here.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
You might just be soon.
Huh? Look at me. I was worried about my weight the other day. My stomach wasn't looking right. I focused. I grinded. I dropped the weight off. I got it down. You got to say, because I'm a serious man.
It's crazy, man. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
that's so not. Like, he must really stink. Because you can't shower.
Yeah.
He's been housebound for like a year. So he can't go nowhere. Yeah, he ain't been nowhere. He can't go nowhere.
So this was a trip for him.
Yeah. That was a day out. He was loving it.
It was definitely fresh air if you were following the sky, and that's how they had to transport you over.
That's ridiculous.
That's just wild, man.
Yeah, he's in the mud.
You need a bit of body dysmorphia for that.
I can't help but think the amount of money he spends on food, you know.
Yeah.
There's always money on food.
I think he does about £30 a day on food.
£30 a day.
Which is about £10,000 a year.
That's £210 a week.
It's a lot of money, you know.
£30 a day. That's insane.
That's $840 a month.
That's what I'm saying, man. And we're paying for this bollocks.
Times 12. Sickening.
You know what's thrown me, which I'm still trying to work out? 3 large tubs of chicken chow mein. Do they mean the containers, or the way they're painting this?
Yeah, tubs. I think tubs is the wrong word to use.
No, because you know sometimes in that box
is crazy.
In the American box,
eating buckets of noodles.
That's crazy.
Whoever's buying it from, they must love it. I will say though, all this being said, the chips in the kebab, that looks like good chips. I wish I knew what kebab shop that was.
You're right, you know.
I'm looking at it. When I tell you, it looks like it's the perfect amount of saltiness
and crisp.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! I'm looking at. I'm hungry. Some good chips.
Where?
That cheese sandwich looks meaty though.
Yeah, definitely.
I was thinking cheese. That's it.
Yeah, but you know that's
it's cheese and pickles, man. You know. Pickles.
Oh, okay.
Or like ham and cheese, some dead sandwiches there.
Yeah.
Brent likes cheese sandwiches.
Is it?
Do you?
I'm lactose intolerant.
So
Well, anyway, Jason Holbert. Jason Holton. Be better, man. You might not care about your life and your well-being, but there's people out there that do, man. Focus. Put the chips down. Done at here. Let's go to the outro.
Nice show back. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Shout out to our live crew. Do like this video. The likes is not matching up as we would like it to. So do like the video. Share it as well. The video is going to stay up when we're done. Do all that great stuff. Join our community as well, the TNB network, community.thenewblack.com. It's basically our own social media space, basically. You can post gifts and pictures and all that kind of great stuff. And follow us on all our social media platforms. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you would like to send messages in or voice notes for Sis What Would You Do or asking for a friend, send that in to 075 6484 1073. That is also the number you can dial into when we're having conversations on the episodes. If you would like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Black is spelled with an X, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
see you tomorrow.
Ciao.